Howdy folks, welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I am Joe Treff, your GM this evening and most, and joining me are my friends, Matt, Kara, and Ari. Olive is not going to be with us tonight.
Because we ate her.
Because we ate her, phrasing. But Dan will be joining us just a little bit later. They are just retrieving their laptop.
Oh,
They're
Dan.
a frog
I
for right
forgot
now.
my laptop.
Hi,
so
Dan.
I'm gonna be a couple minutes late.
All right, we'll go grab it, Dan. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. So Dan will be joining us a little bit later. But before we jump into some Starfinder, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, your support makes all of this possible. Thank you so much for following us here on Twitch. Over on YouTube, we also have an Instagram, a Threads, a Blue Sky, all of them at AlbronRPG. We also have a Patreon. Also the same at AlbronRPG, where you can see all kinds of content. Behind the scenes interviews, there are entire sessions that are up there. And so you can see that at AlbronRPG. Excuse me. Last weekend, we also played a session 2 of Iron and Thorn, our original Cypher System game that is played in the Old Gods of Appalachia rule set, written and run by Kara as our GM, and then myself, Vincent, Hannah, Sable, and then not able to join us that particular evening, but Alana is also one of our players.
I apologize to Patreon subscribers. I promised that there would be a mini session with Alana. It's going to happen this Sunday.
Yeah, we got it. Don't worry. So all those things, different things that are happening. We also play Starfinder every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Like today.
Today, yeah, this is more ominous than I want for our starting music here. You guys are, we got some chill streets.
It's ominous as to whether or not Dan will make it in time after the credits roll.
That's true. All right. We have Monument Studios music in addition to Sirenscape for sound. And there's all kinds of cool things that are coming up in our future. You can see more about it on our YouTube at the State of Albron 2025. But that is all the announcements that we have for this week. And it's time for Mosaic Team 5.
Pew, pew, pew.
All right. And to you, Kara, with the recap.
Hello. Mosaic Team 5. When last we played, we all went about our various tasks of the day before eventually we participated in the million credit carnage. We had our rolls. Gibbs first took her kind of made from scratch casserole where she printed the ingredients and then made the casserole.
Printed from scratch.
Printed from scratch. Yeah, that works. That's a good one. Over to Gladira Mubumbas. Mubamba. I will get it eventually. Over to her house, but before getting all the way there from the train, texts Echo asking for some additional presents to give her in the form of explosives. Echo rushes over some grenades, and with a quick but deft handoff in the train station, Gibbs was back on her way and over to Gladira. There, right about at the same time she tripped a flashbang, she caught Gladira basically hung out the window, said she didn't want any, and shooed her away. But Gibbs won her over with her magnetism, eventually tossing a note tied to a rock with our request, as Gladira appears to be suspicious of communicators. And rightly so, you should also be suspicious of your communicators. Gladira says she needs more explosives in order to complete the request, and that she doesn't hurt people, only explodes things for coolness. She also has some ideas that we can add for flair, like confetti. We do, however, need to get some more supplies in order to make this grand show happen. Shade, Echo, and Spice got tips from Mezra on how to make a good showing at the Million Credit Carnage, while Bubs chased down a bus driver who quickly visited the laundromat only to quickly leave. Shouting, asking loudly and shouting in the streets, "Are you USR?" He does confirm that he is indeed USR, but he's also supposed to be undercover and thought that we were as well. He gives us our clearance and informs us that the Blue Rad apartments are actually a front. That is the location of the missile silo, and the janitorial closet is its entrance. The spy seems a little put off by the fact that we're bounty hunters and not actually USR agents, but, you know, whatever, to each their own, I guess, and gives us some helpful information, like maybe don't shout USR while you're running down the streets. A little while later, Bubs contacts Effie, attempting to get information on Bastion, our potential target for the Ares theft, but she has nothing new for us. Instead, he gives her advice on creating recipes for his siblings who can't taste. Spice messages Trevin, her acquaintance from our time on Elysium. They unfortunately missed their connection with each other, and will now be finding those missed connections somewhere on the infosphere. But he's headed to Ars Bay as the resort has a new surfing beach. He gives her recommendations for bars and nightclubs around the fancier districts of Aphrodite, and Spice hones in on one in particular, the Crimson Nebula Dance Club, for reasons. Later on, the team debates on the motives for why Bastion and/or Jacinto stole the nuclear missile from Ares, not quite landing on one particular theory over the other, with thoughts of maybe Bastion was using the silo to power some sort of eco-terrorist act, or maybe it was all just a front, a false flag operation of sorts, to make it seem like Ares doesn't have their shit together. Which also apparently they don't, because security at the missile silo was fairly lax. Anyway, on our train ride over, we prepped for the Million Credit Carnage with our various outfits that we obtained a few sessions ago, and Gibbs added a tube sock.
A ninja mask.
A tube sock mask.
Hide my identity.
Yeah.
Who hasn't worn a tube sock ninja mask? Like
Everyone.
everybody.
Especially one that you found in the Lost and Found at a laundromat.
No, certainly not.
That's the important bit.
Whatever. I'm not picky. It works.
Oh, it's Bub's laundromat, so it's probably clean.
We arrived at the Pit Fighters Guild arena, descending via an elevator to a platform below, shiny and steel, while onlookers cheered on various platforms rising up in a kind of reverse arena setup behind plexiglass so they can witness the carnage but not be bothered by it. Mosaic Team 5 was facing off against 7 other competitors in this free-for-all battle royale. And maybe we were supposed to fight each other, but we kind of fought each other. There was a little bit of damage happening.
I mean, I got fucking wrecked.
Oh, you were my way. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it wasn't from you guys.
No,
It was really from
just
the other people.
generally.
Right off the bat, Gibbs voiced her concern that she would not be able to contribute in any meaningful way and was likely to die within the first 5 minutes. Foreshadowing.
I was wrong.
We all took our places, knowing that positioning was important, and the battle began. Shade fired off a quick grab gun blast with a very proficient-looking fighter across from Bubs, kind of playing a little bit of a hot potato with the fighter, before Gibbs, center stage and on the ground, fired off a well-placed Time's Edge, as they had all conveniently lined up for her.
Oh my god.
That's Dan coming in and Suzu reacting.
Yeah.
And Dan caused admittedly the same amount of carnage and craziness that happened with Bubs, as Bubs, aka Helicopter Johnny, got the crowd inspired with various punches and hammer blasts before taking an elegant dive off of the catwalk, pretending to be downed. Spice made a fantastic showing by competing with this other titan of the elements with a blast of lightning and arcs and strikes into a tempest that Gibbs had summoned. Shade continuing to sneakily jab and strike. I'm not thrown off at all by people coming down the stairs. Welcome, Dad. Before eventually being caught in the crossfire of a particularly dangerous opponent. Echo was also there. They kind of just ran back and forth up a ramp and forced somebody else to get their steps in. So it was good cardio for them.
No, you leaped and jumped into the air in a fantastical fireworks display, and you were like shadowed in the sparklesness. You did stuff.
You ran really, really fast.
I was getting to it.
Yeah.
Shit, I thought you were talking down yourself. Sorry.
I got you. Progression in storytelling.
Yeah, right? You gotta have the build-up.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Eventually, Spice also proceeds to fall in battle, but not without attempting to influence things with her psychic abilities. Bubs continued. Daniel Danielson, aka Helicopter Johnny, aka Bubs, aka Adam Danger Susan Price,
Yeah, we have to add new ones.
Hey, don't worry,
did a
Al.
wonderful job of continuing to play dead, and Gibbs eventually pretending to fall when Echo blasted onto the scene around them multiple times with streaking arcs of lightning before eventually pretending to throw them far off into the distance and stabbing down from on high with a blade, eventually winning the million credit carnage, albeit with some, shenanigans and not actually killing their teammates because that wasn't the intent at all. It was just to get money. And we got money!
Yay!
And that's where we begin our session. With money.
Absolutely. So, for one of the very first times in your career, actually,
Okay.
you have a little bit of money. For all of you having just completed this sort of combat, you were ushered out of the arena and back into that elevator, and you made your way back up to the main concourse where, with everybody still just kind of like chanting above, you can feel the building itself just shaking. There's music that kind of plays and reverberates through the stonework. But all of you emerge into the sort of concourse, and the Fighters Guild is off and to your left. You can kind of go over, you know that there is a shop there. You also know straight away there is the kind of exit to the sort of dust, sort of rust desert that is outside. What are you all doing?
Sorry, Shade. Did you need any healing? You were kind of in my way, and I wasn't gonna heal you before, but I'm willing to heal you now. You want it?
That would be appreciated. I need to repair my arm
Great.
more.
Here, let me give you a hand.
If you need assistance, as you currently have one functioning arm, I am happy to provide it.
I'm gonna take out. I have a thing for this that I got.
Spare arm.
No, the nanite hypopad.
Okay, very nice.
It's white. Remove affliction as a purely technological effect that functions as the spell of the same name. Yeah, it allows the casting of remove affliction, which I think gets rid of my arm being devastated, right?
I could do it for free.
Oh,
you want.
okay.
I have
then
a
I'll just
remove
do
affliction
that.
is just a spell I have.
Oh, yeah, then I'll save this one.
But,
Guys, did you see the crowd? Oh my god, they were so excited!
so
Oh my
cool!
god,
It
guys!
was so
guys. Oh my god!
that's your HP.
HP.
And whoever else needs it's 45. I just accidentally got rid of the dice.
I am still gonna need
And
to
then-
take a little rest.
So Gibbs,
Yeah.
as you look at Shade's arm, which is mangled,
Yeah.
this is not an affliction.
Yeah.
This is a severe wound.
Oh, that's the thing I have.
Oh, so
Oh, and I
just-
didn't fix it myself.
But my arm is construct, right? So I can repair it. Like, can I repair it?
You can, but this sort of damage is severe as
So
per
I
the
can-
sort of rules.
Okay.
Severe damage is the destruction of body parts, and even though you
Okay.
are inorganic, the inorganic material that you have is damaged to the point that it's not reparable. You will really need to replace it.
Okay.
And so that could come in the form for you, in theory, of crafting a new arm. You could also look into crafting or purchasing a cybernetic option. You could just get a straight biological necrograft. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do. You
Right,
could put a
okay.
mop in there.
But but it's not like the hypopen wouldn't work either
No.
because it's remove.
Might have to
Hypo-
do on a leg because it costs
I
an
have
arm and a
seen
leg
in
for
some
things.
Solari hollows that some people choose to get a gun as an arm. While I would not recommend it for mechanic purposes, it could be interesting.
Or a chainsaw? Have you ever thought about chainsaw?
I was just imagining you being like, okay, just this last screw. just shooting something that you've been
Oh,
building.
yes, a nail gun could work wonderful.
I mean, it's not up to me, but I don't know. I like the old shade.
It is Shade's arm to do with what he will.
And stick it where he wants to.
And if he wants a gun arm, he can have one.
I'll find a suitable replacement.
But here, let me stop the bleeding for now. And this oil and whatever this other fluid is that looks like
Hydraulic
Coolant.
fluid.
that's it.
That's the coolant.
Cool. Does 45 hit points do you well?
It does me better than the 12
Well,
that
hold
I
on,
had.
can do it again. I got resolve points.
Or
burned.
actually, I think it was only
Take another
the
39.
10.
Yeah, it was pretty low, I
Yeah.
remember.
Bubs is just watching
Because
Compose here.
I went
Okay.
down and went back
He's
up.
watching the video of
The
it
The
just
recaps,
happened.
yeah.
So that's not. Oh, okay. So yeah. It's not on like public channels, but if you go onto some of the more like ground level things,
Yeah.
there are definitely videos that are starting to pop up.
Nice.
At this point too, you do hear footsteps coming down the hall, and they're familiar. You hear Mesra, and Mesra would appear. You see this Kasatha, really in this situation, kind of your patron, but also you broke her out of a jail, a Vesk prison, and so the
mutually
relationships are
beneficial.
complicated.
Mutually beneficial
Yeah.
relationship.
But
I like what we've got
Makes her way
going with
towards all of
Mesra.
you, and even over the face mask that she wears, the kind of bandana, you can see that she looks very pleased. And she approaches, and she looks to all of you, and she says, "You didn't disappoint. Quite well for your first event. To whom shall I give the winnings to?"
Well, Echo won it. She killed me. Almost. Nearly.
You're still alive.
Well, I mean, but by the skin of my little furry teeth.
Our captain maintains our finances.
I'll hold on to the funds.
They give you a small credit chip, but as you take it, even though it only probably weighs like half an ounce, there's weight to this. This is a lot of money. And a cursory kind of scan with your exocortex, there is 800,000 credits on this stick.
Cool. I'm gonna safely store it on my person.
Okay.
Mesra, that was so awesome. Did you see us? Oh my god, the crowd was going crazy. Did you see these recaps?
Mesra nods and says, "For many of you, it was a good showing. For your level, but you will need to do better to become true legends. We can talk when I'm done training." And
You're gonna go train?
Turns and she says, "Yes, there are events coming up that I wish to partake in. I've been gone for too long."
That's admirable.
Do you have any recommendations for someone who can help me with my arm?
She looks you over.
Do you want a gun arm?
Have you thought about a chainsaw?
She would say, "I have 4 myself and have never needed to purchase a replacement, so I am not sure. But with the amount of money that you have, you could go to the finest clinics in Mars. Try the Crown District." Or not the Crown District, pardon me. She would know. It is...
The Heart District?
Yes, the Heart District.
Is there an arm district?
Pathologist Park in particular. There is. The Arms District is where Ares is set up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I finally got
district.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So when you look at the city of Aphrodite, which is named after this goddess,
Weapons are.
it does have a vaguely humanoid form sprawling down this volcano
Yeah.
or this crater.
Oh, and that's why there's
That's
the
why-
crotch.
Did you just... Yeah, what?
No, I got the
Yeah.
crotch. I didn't
Did
get
it
the
just
arms.
click?
Hey, man.
I think you need to
All
check
of the
your
districts have
updates.
multiple meanings for sure.
So you're going to be continuing fighting? Are you gonna, help us? Because you said you would.
Yes, of course, but you have earned the respect of at least some of the fighters here. If you require people, they may be able to assist you far more than I could, with far less attention.
That is true. Mesra is quite a public figure.
You kind of flash back to the statue outside that just has all of the various accoutrements of people who have come here specifically to see Mesra. And then in even the souvenir shop, you
I
saw
pull out of my pants the bobblehead.
yeah
You
people.
had that in you the whole time.
Well, it was in my inner pocket.
Bubs is gonna do that thing where he's like, you kind of like you twist your foot back and forth, and you kind of look down. You're like, Well, Mezzo, I mean, if there's any, like, after parties or, like, anything to meet people, you know, just saying.
I'm going to train. You all do quite enough partying, I'm sure.
So where can we meet these people? Are they going to be outside the stadium, or where can we...
They're going to be in the Fighters Guild.
Oh!
Would you like to meet more fighters, Bubbles?
Yeah, I mean... sometimes I think just watching other people fight, it's like, wow, I wish I could fight that good. And I can fight that good, but, like, just watching people fight that good, it's just like, oh, man, it's just...
Maybe you should go train with Mesra. You wouldn't mind, right?
She looks over at you and she says, I would very much mind. I fight at a different level than Bubbles does. For now, at least. Do you say that out loud?
No.
That's Dan talking.
So what are we doing, guys? Let's go meet the people at the Fighters Guild. I'm sure there's probably, like, I don't know, tons of meat pucks. I'm kind of booked up on appetite.
And you would remember you had walked through the space and you could see actually still very much in the kind of lobby. There is a person who has white hair. You can see it seems to kind of float up around their body, almost in like a telekinetic field, perhaps. She looks like she's underwater, just sitting in the lobby. You can see that she is wearing a very flashy purple and silver outfit. And for those of you who are in attendance today, that is all that you know.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sorry, Olive.
Damn.
Bubbles, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but not all of us are in conditions to spectate. And Echo just kind of like turns to face Shade, who is missing an arm.
I'm sorry, fighting gets my blood going and I get so excited.
Mezra will nod and say, that is understandable. There is no finer sport than the sport of fighting. But if you are looking to spend some of your earnings, I suggest going to the Fighter Guild store. I imagine you'll find better stock now.
Okay, and maybe we can meet some people there.
Perhaps.
The agent that you spoke with earlier, what do you think of him?
Weak, spineless, and useful.
Papersley.
Doug?
Doug Papersley. He's been an agent in the Fighters Guild for some time. He does not have a lot of talent, or charisma, or skills. But he is soft and shapeable.
I believe we know someone similar.
You can see Mezra's eyes dart over to Gibbs and then back to you, and Mezra just goes like...
and in the back, like it's...
Everybody looks at somebody different in the group.
We're all like, huh?
Echo just like blinks and just like... Peep.
Oh! No. But Peep does have charisma and we love him.
Don't you besmirch my papa's name.
So I mean, if you're like up for it, Shade, maybe. I mean, I know your arm is hurt, but like it would be cool.
My arm is currently removed.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you, Captain. What do you want to do?
I would like to repair my arm.
Okay, Captain.
Might I make a suggestion?
I do not need everyone to assist me in that.
That was going to be my suggestion.
But you need me, right? I know a lot about arms.
That is true. I suppose it depends on the avenue he wishes to take with the arm.
I don't know a lot about cybernetics, but I can help you get a good deal if I think about it for 10 minutes. Sorry. I hope you know what I'm saying.
I have a similar thing. I go...
That's how we change into a cloud.
It's on Fridays, though.
We just fart ourselves out.
Oh,
It's only on
no.
Fridays. What the fuck was it?
You were
Sure, come. Yeah, let's
Okay,
go.
guys,
Let's
I'm
go
gonna
fix
go arm
my.
shopping.
Let's go fix my arm.
On Wednesdays we wear pink.
And I'm activating
Well,
my grifter feet to
we're
get
gonna
a
need
good
to
deal on an
go-
arm.
We're gonna need
Okay.
to go
Cool.
to the heart district, right?
For what?
For the arm. if I'm going the getting a replacement rather than just building myself. In which case, building myself, I would prefer.
You could go to the Heart District,
buy
and they
one
would.
and
The
modify
Heart
it.
District is a medical area. You would be going there to get something a little bit more biological. If you wanted to get a mechanical arm, there's a number of places you could get cybernetic arms.
Yeah, I'd go get the cybernetic arms, replace it with something that's comparable.
You had seen something in the actual Fighters Guild store near the back. You had seen a number of things kind of near the posters of Gladira, and so there's stuff like that here. You would know that there's many places that you could go. There's a lot of shopping
I would be
to
able
be
to
had.
assist with installation of a cybernetic unit, but not a biological one. Gibbs would be better suited for that one. And whoever is not helping with the arm should accompany Bubbles, and maybe learn a little thing or two about fighting techniques.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea to me.
Well, quick, while we're here, let's go look at the inventory in the shop here. Make sure that
Agreed.
there's
I do
nothing
remember
convenient.
seeing some pieces, and there should be more stock now.
Overall, this sounds like a valid plan. Everyone needs a little bit of something now and then.
To Hogan we go!
Okay.
Smash cut.
Mesra kind of like nods, bids you adieu, and you just run like literally
I pause,
45
I
feet
go
away
to the map,
around the corner.
and then
Echo
I
takes
go
a step.
fast travel, and we load screen there.
Yeah, so you meet Echo. Echo already has a popsicle, like a Coke, yesterday's newspaper.
Some popcorn
Damn,
kernels.
yeah.
Graphics cards you run in.
But you just make your way 45 feet around
8000.
through this grand space. There is a almost steel box of a room that you have seen previously, still very well lit. And you can see the quartermaster who you've met before, Hogan, who vibrantly dyed blue hair, clearly a dye job over dark roots. You can see they're wearing this vibrant white and yellow latex attire that looks almost like a mad scientist. And they are behind this kind of window. Behind them, you can see just rows and rows and rows of weapons and things like that. But as you approach, he would beckon you over and seem a little bit more excited to see you all than the last time that you had awkward drama in his window. You make your way over, and he kind of says, "Hey, you guys won the 1,000,000 credit carnage.
We did!
Amazing. I kind of had you all wrong. I'm really sorry about that. You seem like you didn't really have everything together. Between you and me, are you guys like a team?"
We are now.
He nods, looks
Talent
around.
recognizes
He
talent.
says, "All right, that's a cool storyline. Competitors become team. I like that. For all of you, I might have a couple special items, if you're interested.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
An arm.
Any particular kind?
A left one.
For that one.
Oh, yeah. I can see why. Is there any features that you're looking for? I have a couple of different arms in stock. And you said left, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
A left, right.
We should get one with a cigarette later.
Well, and also, I mean, how much are you looking to spend also? Just in terms of kind of looking for what to pull out. Arms are downstairs. I have to bring them up.
Would it be preferable for me to go down and look?
No?
Generally,
Better for
customers
me.
do not go to the back
I want to go
rooms.
see all of them at once so I can get them all. I want to look at them with my eyes.
Like we're in
Do
bed
you
baby.
have
It's gonna be an
recommendations for interesting utilities?
For interesting utilities, I mean, polyhands are pretty cool. If you've got maybe 70 grand to spare. If you're looking for something a little bit cheaper, maybe something like a biosynthetic arm. Keep a little bit of sensation still. Make weapons a little easier to handle. For arms, I mean, if you're looking to spend a lot of money, I mean, it kind of looks you up and down. I don't know. Have you ever heard of a force matrix?
Have I ever heard of a force matrix?
Make an engineering check. You probably have.
Keep a good poly hand in your poly pocket.
Yeah, I have. It's like a 43 or so.
It's an adamantine.
Yeah, it's a
programmable
43.
toolkit.
Okay. With a 43, you certainly have. A force matrix is something that is embedded within a hand you typically need a shield to make this work, and it kind of diminishes your ability to use a shield. But in its place, you are able to alter the physics around a particular enemy. This is something that would do stuff like increase your ability to hit against them, things that, might be sort of helpful. And he would say, I do have to warn you, about 300,000 credits. It's not cheap. They're hard to find.
Worth it.
We need to do the necessary calculations to see if it can budget.
If you want something cheaper, we've got cheaper options too.
How much was that one you just mentioned?
300,000.
Ah,
But if you're looking for something, we have force matrices. I think I have a left-handed weaponized prosthesis, but it's going to be a lot lower quality than what you're working with right now. I might be able to give you a bare bones frame with a recoil stabilizer. It'll be hot pink.
Let's get that paint.
It's the thing about this pink, it's some kind of an epoxy. It eats paint straight off of it, so it will be pink.
You should just change your whole outfit to pink. It'd probably make more sense.
I've told people that. Nobody's taken me up on it yet. Okay.
would there be a discount on that one?
Yeah,
How
I could probably part with it for like 10 grand. Maybe for you guys, 9.
If
If-
you wish to change your whole aesthetic, that is a cheap option.
Well, but we should get you the thing that you need to do the job that we have.
And you want it to be mechanical, right? You're not interested in like something. I mean, maybe. Let me ask you this: you're an android. Your biologics are from other creatures, right? So that's not that big of a deal. How do you feel about necrographs?
How do you feel about it? It's a tiny Yosoki arm, though.
I love that.
Don't,
Why
oh,
do
shoot,
that?
I shouldn't have said that.
I might have a hand. That would probably still work.
You say that in an interesting way. Insight, sense motive check.
Yeah, make a sense motive check.
I say insight like there's an insight roll here. Okay, well, I'm definitely not getting any trick attacks off because that was good. So that's 35.
Okay, with a 55.
35, 35, not
35.
55.
With a 35, this is probably not something that this person, everything that you've seen here, this Fighters Guild, a lot of regulations and like things that are very carefully calculated. This is probably not something that they're supposed to sell. It
Oh,
is
this
not
is an
maybe-
aftermarket hand.
Yes, very much so. In fact, you get the sense of the 35. It probably belongs to like one of the fighters that lost it.
Cool, so if
So,
it's
like,
an aftermarket
Shade's
hand, I get a
hand,
40.
There is a decent chance that like anything that you left behind in the arena gets fixed up and sold to some person.
It was their wiping hand.
Well, it was still kind of.
This is like, could we get Shade's
Yeah,
arm?
but there's definitely like
there's
there's a non-zero
chance,
chance to
yeah.
get those parts
Chunks of
associated to
bits.
other places. But you're getting the sense that this is what they're talking about. It is a hand that almost certainly belonged to somebody else or something else, and they would say, and it can hurt people.
I can hurt people.
Yeah, but this can do a little bit more, and you get a little bit out of it too. The way it works, I'm told you sort of almost steal the life from someone. It seems kind of gray in terms of ethics, but
Is it gray in terms of species? Or
no,
what species is the hand?
I think it's human.
Captain, if you need any funds, you can take from whatever my winnings are. I don't need the money.
And the best part about this, I will say, it's a great hand, right? It's a left hand. It's about your size. It's, I think, a little bit greener than you just because of the fluid that it's been in, but that's not a big deal. And 30,000 credits. I mean, it's pretty cheap.
I
Something
would go with a
cybernetic
poly
would
hand
be
over that.
more suitable for my specialties.
All right. And then, there's the other option, of course, of Magitech. That's a little bit more expensive. I don't even know if I have any hands. Give me 1 second. Let me look. And he pulls up his little data slate and takes a look.
That changes it to basically any tool that you program it to be. And it can be programmed to look like other hands.
Okay, so you might need to do some work on this because it's a right arm. But I do have a Valstrock shackle. And,
look at all these now. Oh, it went away. I can look it up, though.
It's a specialty item. There are people who want them. I kind of have them in with an eye of trying to sell it to somebody, but you've got money. I know you just won. And if you were looking to part with maybe 100 grand?
What would that one do versus the
poly
hand?
Oh, it's just a dark gauntlet made out of shadow. It just is a shackle made out of shadow that you could throw at people. It's awesome. It's one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. And if I could have them in the shop every day, I would. If I could buy this, I would.
Touch things with it.
I would take it off.
Ah.
Disconnect it, or at least turn off the shadow part of it.
Is that a function?
Yes, shadow chain is the ability that it kind of gives you. And then, it's just kind of a shadowy looking hand otherwise. And, it has visually spikes on it, but they're not going to pierce anything.
I am glad Spice is in the bathroom.
Mostly you would just fit it onto the stump of your forearm and, maybe reverse the thumb. Would you mind having 2 right hands?
I would be able to engineer it to be a left hand.
There you go. So that's an option too.
I think I could probably modify it, and because whatever I get, I'm gonna upgrade to my level.
So mechanically, Valstrock Shackles, this one is level 15.
Ooh.
This is 102,000 credits.
Oh shit!
It's expensive.
Oh shit!
But this is something that is a very potent magical item. The higher level cybernetics that they offered, the Polyhand. The Polyhand is a level 14 item. That is something that you can reconfigure your hand into different tools.
But I already have my I can have all tools as a mechanic with an exocortex.
Get the creepy hand.
Yeah, I think the creepy hand is.
Well, the creepy hand is what does that. You can also program new tools into it to replace some of the old ones.
The creepy hand, the shadow hand.
Oh, the shadow hand. Yeah,
The creepy hand. They're all pretty creepy.
To me, they're all kind of creepy for
The
different
shadow
reasons.
feeds on your tissue.
Wait, what?
I mean,
Wait, which one?
The shadow hand.
The shadow hand. It's got some.
I mean, but how much
interesting
tissue
subtext.
do you have?
I don't really have any. Canonically, it's basically just the brain stem.
Bubs doesn't have any tissues. He's more of a wipes guy.
I think
I mean, it will still do things. It has effects. Yeah.
I mean, I could swap it out too eventually. Sell it off for another one. I want to look up both of these.
Okay, yeah,
and then
take your
make
time,
a
no problem.
choice.
Bubs is looking around. Bubs is gonna think about. Did you see any androids in the audience at all?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bubs wants to think about just what he saw when he came into the Mars airport. I forget what it was called. His name is
Bobby Lee
The Bobby Lee
Spaceport.
Memorial
Yes.
Spaceport. Yeah.
How dare you?
And he's starting to think of how there's this area has androids, but he never really noticed a lot of androids when he was coming into the district, and the airport, and he's starting to kind of just start to wonder things.
Okay. That's free action. You can wonder things. You've seen some androids in some places, not others. That's technically true of the
Everywhere,
whole galaxy.
yeah.
But that is true here as well.
It's very human-centric.
It is.
Thought process bubbles.
Anything else people want to do at the shop?
Echo wants to peruse the wares.
Okay, what kind of wares are you looking at in particular?
So for sure, the shop doesn't have armor, right? We established that. It's mostly weapons.
It hadn't previously, but are you asking for armor?
Yeah.
Okay. So you ask this guy, or they look at you kind of just peering over, and you seem, even for an android, a little disappointed. So they look over and they say, can I help you? You just keep looking I look at the fridge, hoping that there's going to be something new.
In my downtime, I like to take on different bounties, and I was hoping for some protection in the form of defense. you know, armor.
What kind?
Something that would be both easy to move in with multiple slots for customization.
So light armor.
Yes, for
Okay.
sure.
What are you wearing right now? Like a D suit?
Yes.
What is that, a 3?
unfortunate- Yes,
Wow.
I know.
And you won in that.
Again, I know.
And the pants used to say, "You're in trouble."
No,
What's
they did
wrong
not.
with the D suit? You wore the "You're in trouble" pants?
No.
What's wrong with the D suit?
That lady peed herself in an arena. It's all over the infosphere. You should look it up.
I very specifically cut that part out and patched it. Gibbs.
Well, you're not in trouble here because I happen to have a D suit 5. It's expensive, and I promise it's not yellow.
It's also hot pink.
250 credits. It's like an olive green, if it matters.
250 credits.
Sorry,
250,000.
250,000.
I was like,
What
And
is wrong with it?
The D suit 5 is a level 17 item.
Yeah, I know. A D-Suit 4 is the only thing that Shade could craft because you can't craft that high, right?
Yeah, I can only craft up to our my mechanic level.
Ah,
I do have, a few cheaper options. I have some hard light series, both the elite and the squad, if you're looking to save a little bit more. I have some diffractor armor. I do have a set of carbon skin. It's kind of reserved, but I could, if you can beat the reservation price, I could sell it to you.
what is the reservation price for reference?
The carbon skin diamond, you would need to spend 140,000 for that.
I see.
Aside from that, really, the D Suit 5, that's kind of the best thing that I have right now. I do have some upgrades, if that might help. If you're looking for anything.
Player will need to do some research.
Sure.
well, they too do
I would
research.
take the D
Can
suit
me
5
and
because it has
Gibbs-
enough slots for me, but
250.
no, that's
Can
a
me and
lot.
Gibbs do
yeah.
a scene?
Also,
Yeah.
I need an arm.
Hey, Gibbs, can you come here for a second?
Sure.
Also, I need
So
an arm.
last episode, I made a mistake. I called the wrong person.
TV?
Yes.
He meant to call
you meant
TV.
Nadia. I meant to call
Nadia.
Nadia.
Okay.
They were all introduced at the same
I was
episode.
like, why
I
are
was
you,
very
Um,
confused.
why are
with
you
my
calling
asking
this?
about
Why are you
that.
calling the person
It
who
was
wants
3 years
nothing to
ago, and
do
it
with
was
anything
introduced at the same episode. So
Sure.
it got, and then I remember during the break, I was like, "What's the name? What's the name?" And then it came to me right as I did it. So the brain still works. It just it misfired. Hey Gibbs, you used to work at Hakashina Hana, right?
Yeah.
Do you know Nadia?
She was my boss.
Yeah. Could you possibly like call them?
Sure. I don't know if she likes me, but she did give me this gravy boat that I gave to Tiffy one time.
Yeah, I know you offered it to me one time and it was in your pants and I was like, no, Gibbs, I don't want your gravy boat. Why do you always offer me food that's from your pants? I don't
That's where a lot of my pockets are.
I know, I get it, but like, I mean, like, at least when you offer me like meat pucks, it's like wrapped up and stuff. Like, if you're gonna offer me food from like your pockets, like at least like if you could like make sure they're wrapped first.
You could be a little more grateful.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I do mostly eat. You're the reason I got into meat pocket.
They were great, and they were sustainable. And people would throw them away if there was a little puncture in the package.
There are punctures in the package.
Well, sometimes if you find them in dumpsters, they did.
Gibbs, oh, well, we don't eat those though, right? Okay, never mind. Okay,
So Nadia, right?
Nadia.
Okay. I got this. Bring.
And we're gonna do it in a
Bring,
group call. Our faces will be smushed together.
And you're calling the restaurant?
Yeah, no, I have Nadia's number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nadia direct, no problem.
She was my boss. She texted me once.
And Gibbs, and before, like, as we're going, I'm doing this because, you know, Rav and / Bastion, they used to work there. And we're trying to, you know, obviously have any leads on what they're doing. And obviously, Bastion and Rav, they left their brother Pronto there. So if any leads we can get on Pronto, and maybe that could lead us to Bastion.
Yes, that makes so much sense. I thought you just wanted like a sushi recipe, but
Oh, no, I don't really eat not cooked food.
I feel like the texture is really there though.
Yeah.
It's like nice and slimy and cool.
Gibbs, they can answer any second now.
Well, I'm waiting for her to pick up.
Hang on, sorry.
It's
It's
okay.
pulling up my
You're literally fine. We're just chatting.
Okay. So the communicator rings a couple times, and then let me see what time it is, actually.
Oh, please, show, please.
Okay. The phone picks up, and remind me, your name was...
Delilah.
It was
Delilah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it
Morning
was...
Lark.
Because there was another undercover name that you chose that was wild. It
Yeah.
was, I don't remember. Trinket. That was the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
so
was
Delilah.
that was the Zincrawler.
This is Delilah, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the slightly elderly but tanned face of Nadia appear. She looks a little hairy, a little sweaty, but you can see there's like of steam behind. You can hear the ching 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 sounds of like stuff happening in the kitchen. She's getting ready. You would know even from your very limited time working there that they are getting ready for dinner. And so like very busy is Nadia, but she picked up for you, and she says, "Hello, Gibbs," or not Gibbs. I just said this. "Hello, Delilah.
Hi.
Are you in town? Are
I'm
you
not.
looking to work? We're a little short-staffed tonight."
Ooh, I wish I could. I'm actually, unfortunately, here to ask you a favor.
Oh, yes, of course. What can I do for you, Delilah?
I have my friend here, and we
Hi,
just had a few questions. Do you remember Bastion or
Raph.
Raph?
Raph, yes.
Yeah. We ran into him, and he seems to have gotten into some bad news bears, and we just are looking to help him. Do you remember anything about?
Oh, his brother Pronto. They used to work at the restaurant.
Well, I remember Pronto, of course.
Yeah.
And I remember Raph. But they were workers. I didn't know a lot about them, and they didn't work for me. They just delivered things to the restaurant. What kind of trouble did he get himself into? You know, I always suspected that he was up to something like video games or perhaps drugs. He would spend time with that jazzy Jiff, and I don't like him.
Yeah, and he seems to have gotten only worse taste of company lately.
Have you possibly, had Pronto do any more deliveries or seen or heard from them at all?
Not in some time, I'm sorry. When Bastion stopped making the deliveries, we switched to a different supplier. There's been all kinds of upheaval, and luckily, lots of new people are coming to Aura's Bay every day. We found a little bit of help. We were able to find a new bartender, and hopefully, I was hoping that you would be willing to come back. You were very good.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
But we'll find somebody someday.
If I hear of any good chefs in the area, I'll send them your way.
Do you have any idea of the company that they were using that Raph worked under?
The company. Give me 1 second. I do.
We can go through there and try to find them through there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a company called Pure Organics.
Pure Organics. Do you have their number at all?
I don't have their number. The person that I would speak to place all of my orders was a gentleman named Hank Edis. They work off of Earth, I believe.
Okay, do you have their number?
Yes.
Okay.
And they pass along to you, Gibbs, the contact information for one Hank Idris.
I will forward it to Bubbles as well.
Sorry.
Thank you so much, Nadia. And
I'm sorry, dear. Who are you?
Oh, I'm just a friend of,
He's helping me help Bastion.
Ah, well, that's lovely. So, Delilah, when are you coming back to Aura's Bay?
Oh, I hope soon, but yeah, I got to get out of where I'm at right now, and I'm traveling, and that's been really interesting, and just picking up some new techniques.
Ah, well, that's lovely. Hopefully, we'll have a chance to catch up soon.
Thanks.
Well, do you need anything else, dear? I'm very busy.
No, it was nice
I
meeting
wasn't
you.
really talking to you, young man. I'm talking to Delilah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm all set. Thank you. You look busy and lovely too.
Oh, well, thank you. Have a good day, Delilah,
Bye.
and your friend.
Bye.
She terminates the communication.
Oh, Gibbs, that was good. We have a lead now.
We do have a lead to his old employer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a strong lead, but anything that can maybe lead us to Pronto might lead us to at least Raph/Bastion, and maybe that will help us.
Did Pronto not get on the ship with Bastion?
No, he left his brother.
Maybe there's some bad blood there that we could boil.
Well,
He'll start the screws in that little kid. He's like 10 years old.
I thought Pronto was older.
Pronto, I think he
Pronto's
was 13.
Oh.
He's very young.
Really? I thought he
I
was,
thought he was
15,
older. Yeah, I thought he was
Raph
older.
was like,
And he was like
What's
super
the difference
strong.
between 13 and 15?
I don't know.
To me, not very much. They're a young teenager. They're aged to be in middle school. That's what I remember.
Okay.
Well,
Oh no, you're right. 16-year-old brother.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, 1000%.
killing it.
I had him as younger. Maybe he's just short.
Yeah. Well, we can try going ahead with that. I don't know if I kind of support the idea of boiling the relationship, but I don't know. I do feel bad for the guy. You know.
For Bastion?
No, Pronto.
Because he was left behind?
Yeah.
I feel like Bastion's shown us he's been pretty smart this whole time. And I think if he cared, he probably had a backup plan, because he had a backup plan for himself to get out of there. I'm sure he had something for Pronto, even if it wasn't apparent to us.
Yeah. He was so fanatical about letting nature take back what was theirs. It reminded me of Jade Pernide, but different. And I don't know. Sometimes people always say things like, you know, these ends, they'll justify the means, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe we can just talk to Pronto and maybe we can turn some screws and make that work, but I don't know, Gibbs. It feels wrong.
Just getting the information doesn't dictate what we have to do with that information, and so we can just find out and maybe just see how the relationship is. And if it's soured because he was left behind, I'm sure he's, looking for justice, and we may be able to help provide that without enacting anything ourselves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, sounds like a plan. We'll do that.
So yeah, Gibbs says we'll put a gun in a child's hand and let him do the dirty work, and you say sounds good.
Gibbs is worth. Let me do worse.
We are the baddies.
Yeah. So no problem. You have that kind of aside. As Shade, you kind of browse the wares. Echo, you as well.
How much is your necrograph?
I don't want the necrograph.
That's the shadow hand, though.
You don't want that?
No. I don't want the shadow hand.
You don't want the shadow hand.
You want the poly hand? Or you want no hand?
No. You want a gun arm.
Well, no.
Ooh,
I
a
think it's
toaster?
probably easier to just get one of the lower level arms, because for Shade has maintained their body forever.
Mm-hmm.
All the parts are kind of built from scratch,
Mhm.
so that's kind of part of it. None of this stuff
So you're
is
gonna get
really...
the pink arm and just try to make it not pink?
No.
Oh.
But we'll probably just build an arm from whatever base frame arm is available.
So we're looking for toasters and parts. Got it.
Yeah.
And you? Did you want the suit?
Also,
Did you decide?
I haven't looked through all of them, so...
Well, as much as the suit sounds wonderful, and indeed it sounds wonderful, it is not quite in our price range. After all, it is 250,000 credits. Perhaps the Hardlight armor.
But didn't you just win 1,000,000 credits?
Once we have joined the team, unfortunately, and after taxes. The way it works is if we want to gear up together, we will need to spend together.
He looks at you and he hears the sad sound in your android voice. Make a diplomacy check.
Could you do it for 200 because you underestimated us before?
Take a +4 conditional modifier from Gibbs's pathetic begging.
Thank you.
Great. So that's 26.
26. He looks at you, he looks over at Shade, and he says, I did underestimate you all before, and I do love this story of a bunch of competitors becoming a team. This tells me it's going to be a storyline that's going to sell. maybe if you do sort of like a bulk purchase, we could think about lowering the overall price.
What sort of bulk purchase?
Well, you're trying to buy this armor,
Indeed.
and this guy over here is trying to buy an arm. Maybe. I'm having a hard time reading him. I'm gonna be really honest. But I mean, if you guys want to buy both those things, I could do it at a discount.
But you don't want an arm. Now. You want a steel frame and...
Shade hasn't said that.
Oh. What, do you want an arm?
I do need an arm.
Do you want the arms he's providing?
A simple recoil stabilizer should work.
I mean, I do have like a level 1 recoil stabilizer.
Whatever is cheap.
It's that. I mean, $8,000.
So 200,000 for all of it?
That's not quite what I said.
Oh, sorry, I'm not great at math, but...
It's okay. So you're looking for this D suit, which would normally be 250,000, not 200,000, and you're looking for this arm.
I believe he was hoping for a fancier arm purchase.
Echo says in Gibbs' brain.
Do you have any magic items
Hang on. Let me
that
look.
aren't body parts?
Ability crystals, perhaps.
Magical items.
I like magic.
Gibbs doesn't do like that.
I like, you said that like, I like turtles.
And I like turtles.
As it happens, I do.
Okay.
What kind of magical items are you looking for?
An ability crystal.
An ability crystal. I
Yep.
mean, you're just gonna walk in here and try to buy an ability crystal?
Well, you wanted us to make an expensive purchase, so I'm thinking of an expensive item, but
I mean, the most expensive purchase that I really have is for a magical item.
yeah.
I have a tiara of translocation.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. It is a little goofy looking. I'm not gonna lie to you. The colors don't make sense to my eyes. It was a mantis guy who brought it in. I've never really seen that species before, but I guess they can see colors different. And yeah.
How much
So-
is this tiara of translocation?
Oh, for you guys, like 11 grand, I could say.
Okay, so then that's 11 grand.
Now it is a Mark 1 tiara of translocation, which is a level 14 item.
Yeah, but it does 5 people, right?
I believe so. I don't remember for the level.
Alright, hold on. Once per day, I can teleport yourself and 5 people to any point within 200 miles, functioning like a teleport spell.
So you can absolutely,
Ooh.
completely break the MTA system.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so,
That would go good with spices, because then we could have there and back.
well, I think she can only do herself.
No, she can do 5 people.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
I do have some
That
smaller
would be good.
items. I have an Aeon Stone. I've got a diffraction cloak if you might be interested in that. I don't have a ton of magical items really coming
okay.
through here. I might have a plasma bead or two.
Refraction cloak.
22.
We need money. We need stuff for the
I'm good on items,
radiation.
Okay.
Everyone else can.
If
How
you
much
just,
money do we really
if
need,
you
Matt?
really just are trying to buy that really simple prosthetic, I mean, I would just say maybe throw in like an armor upgrade or something at least.
Well, the
That's-
tiara of transmutation is the
Translocation, yes.
is the armor upgrade thing that I'm trying to throw in.
I would say we need maybe something else on top of that.
Kara's trying to get Matt to buy the fancy thing.
Yeah, I get
The 300k
Yeah, whatever you
because you can always like
No, let me be really strictly clear. This guy's trying to upsell you to get you to 200,000 credits. He knows that you guys have a lot of money. He would like to have a larger chunk of that money.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, I am aware.
Yeah.
I am trying to get Matt to get the fancy
Oh,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
It's a fucking 300k thing.
We could maybe manipulate areas and
Treat
giving us
yourself.
bad stuff.
I don't need it. You can take it out of mine.
Does the force matrix come with a
We're all
force
gonna
matrix?
spice
'Cause I
buys a
don't
million
have
things
one
ever.
already.
You need a
She doesn't need
shield, but
anything.
it
Right.
has everything but the shield.
But I don't have a shield.
Correct. So you need to get a shield, and as he said, there are armor upgrades.
Do you need
He
a
does
what kind of
have-
shield do you need? A purple one? I can give you a force field.
Let him speak.
He does have, if you were looking to spend a little bit more money on top of all that, a force field red, which is a level 16 item.
Oh, shit.
It does cost 180,000 credits.
Oh my god, that's like 500k right there.
I have a
No.
broken purple force field if you want it.
Why do you even put these out here? Oh,
He actually has one even nicer than that, but that's he's not.
I have
Gonna...
a-
Also,
I have a-
my God, just get the thing.
I have a purple.
but you want the D suit too, and I feel
We
like
have
that's
800K.
that's higher value.
You can get both.
We can also do another Carnage of Carnival, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
And
just wait a week.
Just
do
wait a week and
another-
we'll do the next one.
Or we could just
Purple?
finish the
Yeah.
Ares job and we could get the
All
shields.
right,
So
what's
we-
the purple? Purple
You
force.
I
said
have
we
to look
would
it up.
need to have protection for our most recent
And then Echo's eyes like slide over, but because they're lights,
Here.
they don't show it.
HTV. You
for
can
our
upgrade it,
most
too.
recent
Yeah, that's
bounty.
true. I could upgrade.
All right, I'm just gonna give Shade my purple force field.
Okay.
It's broken, but you could obviously fix it really easy.
Well, I need the UPP to repair it.
Yeah.
but,
It's a level 6-7. It probably isn't super high.
no.
Well, Echo's
Alright.
about to get rid of a D-suit for something else.
Well, yeah, we can.
So are you gonna get the fancy thing?
If it's gonna be better,
It'll make me
for-
happy!
All right, we'll get the fucking fancy thing. Even though
Which
Sorry for
fancy thing?
redlining.
I've
the
presented you
force
guys at the
matrix,
perfect- Okay.
right? Is
So-
that the one? That's the one, right?
That's the one.
That's 300,000.
Yes.
And then
or
the D suit.
27,000 technically, right?
2,700.
Or
2,700.
27,000. Yeah,
God,
You want
it's
that-
hard.
270,000.
Thank you.
You want the tiara.
Money.
I'm having trouble with these things.
Fucking. God.
So if you're trying to put this tiara, the force matrix, and the D suit together
What's his,
with your
what's the
previous
deal?
roll, give me 1 second. Let me do
What's
some quick math.
Can you throw in private use of his bathroom?
He would say, no, he will say though, okay, look, I'm going to make you a single offer on this.
Mhm.
I'm not going to negotiate, but part of this is I'm going to put the Fight Guild logo, the Fight Shop logo, somewhere in all this stuff. I mean, it's got to be advertising.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that. Do you have a problem with that? It's gonna be on your arm.
Final offer, 400,000
You can
credits.
upgrade it.
You get the tiara, you get the Force Matrix, you get the D-suit.
I can't upgrade it.
I am amenable. Captain, what say you?
So, I'm fine with it. But meta,
Yeah.
that's not going to do anything because there's 0% fortification until green on the force fields, which is what this does. So,
Can you see?
Oh, yeah. True,
Yeah.
true.
so
Okay.
functionally, it's not going to do anything.
You could also
It's
just
just going to be an arm
Until
I
you
mean,
get a
have-
shield.
until
Yeah,
I get a
But
shield.
having the arm is important,
But-
and then having that,
right.
that
Do
immediate
you need
upgrade
a,
at some
like
point.
a
would be
regular
good.
shield? Or just force
No,
field?
it's got to be a
Okay.
force
I
field.
say do it, and then we're doing a job for the weapons
Right.
manufacturer of the
Right.
USR.
Right.
They have a
You
shield.
could also just tack on another, 250K, we'll say, and that'll put you at 650.
No.
But you'll have a real nice
No,
force.
we
field.
need stuff for the radiation poisoning that we're all gonna die
I
from.
ordered stuff from.
Can we trade the purple force field
Enough
to
for
sweeten the
I
deal?
ordered everyone like a suit.
very minimally. It's a broken
it
purple force field.
enough for
Um,
crudite.
I can throw in
Because
items.
crudite
I just wanna-
needs,
I just
like
wanna-
I
lower
don't know, I haven't,
crudite
like,
is
checked
gonna
it and
need
asked.
lower crudite is gonna need like
We ordered it from
From
the
Mosaic.
Vivarium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
I just haven't like
so
opened the
there's-
box. It's an Amazon package sitting on our doorstep for the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
I just haven't fucking opened it.
It's for operational purposes, so theoretically they would keep us safe. But
You guys are gonna open it. It's gonna be a pizza party.
Right, it's gonna be the wrong
Typical
item.
corporate.
No, I was
Damn
picturing
it.
like the Breaking Bad
got
costumes,
switched.
it's just like plastic
I
yellow.
love that.
anyway, so Kara thinks you should do it so that eventually when we get to the armors and weapons manufacturer, we can get you a fancy
Okay,
thing.
I get that, and I'm fine with that. But Matt is like 300K is a lot for something that's
Which
not
is
gonna
why we're
be-
getting
so,
that
yeah,
with the D
I'm
suit
fine
and
with that, yeah.
the
What if I
teleportation
do
crown.
Yeah.
My hard plate advanced vest suit. That's like a level 9, I think, armor, heavy armor. It's pretty good. And it belonged to a very famous warrior.
Are you trying to get rid of it? Is that
There's nobody. You haven't seen any heavy armor sold here. They don't even sell armor traditionally,
Okay.
and so like probably not a huge market for
Trying to
that.
think of
This
what
is because
else.
Kara mentioned something in the chat, and Joe is a very nice and kind and benevolent
Yeah.
DM.
No, I had this stuff printed out weeks ago.
Yay! It was there all along. I
Yeah.
just had to ask.
But we had to win our reputation
And win.
then ask.
Yeah, we had to get through the tutorials
Anyway,
so they unlock the actual
Can we do
shop.
400,000?
I think we've
Yeah,
agreed that we're
yeah,
doing it.
let's
Let's just,
Hey.
let's just do it.
Hey.
So, Shade,
Echo
you have to
just
slide
pushes
the.
Shade forward.
Echo shoves your arm forward. The little credit chip goes out and just pays the amount. It just fires across.
No.
the
He's
screen.
Oh, I
it's like
dropped it.
it's like a cell phone, you know. You just hover him over the
Yeah.
face.
Oh, I'm just picturing
You
there's
just
like
tap it.
that old commercial where it's like the guy and he trips. He's like, oh, and he slips through the credit card thing and like buys all the shit, and then he's like, oh, and picks it all up and like trips out the door.
Gibbs, you can add a tiara of translocation, Mark 1. Shade, you can add a force matrix, Mark 3.
I got an arm. Now I have to go and install it, right?
You do.
Okay.
And then Echo,
We can just do that at
next
home.
plan.
you can add a D-suit level
I'm
5.
just gonna walk down the street with my arm in my arm.
Arm in arm.
Hopefully you'll feel a little less squishy.
Oh,
Nice.
thank you, Joe and team.
Can I take your D-suit and crush it down so I can make my D-suit into a D-suit 4?
I thought you had a 4.
No, I have a 3. I'm
Man.
at the same as fucking you.
You can
Sure
have my,
can.
You can
That's
have
what
my
I'm
armor.
saying, yeah.
I don't need it.
I don't want your armor. I
Okay.
need the armor slots. It's why I need
Okay.
D-suits.
Here you go, man.
Sounds
But you
like
could,
Echo
you could
strip.
recycle that armor to
Right.
get
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I'll take your.
Or
I'll take all the shit.
Or we
for
can give it to the
UPVs.
maybe the fighters that we are going to potentially meet if they're not super equipped because they were kind of squishy.
I don't want to give it to our potential enemies. Unless
No.
we really
Yeah,
think they're
would
gonna be
let's
friends.
not give it to the fighters.
Yeah,
Well, no, they
grind
might.
it
That's what I'm saying. If they
Grind it
become
up.
our friends for the
Yeah.
What we
mission.
really need to do is find a way to increase the productivity of the universal grinders.
I mean, kind of, yeah. Well,
Is that a
there's
thing you can do?
I don't know if you guys picked up on this. They
There's-
did that in the
yeah.
Bloodwalk.
Yeah.
That's part of their whole thing is they can
Right.
grind
That's why they
anything.
had a bunch. Yeah. The universal grinders.
Yes.
Okay, this magical item doesn't require an armor thing, right? Can I just wear it on top of my goggles?
Yeah.
Dope.
Magical items are kind of goofy. They're
Yeah.
not common in Starfinder.
Yeah.
And so they typically don't occupy slots in the same way as
Yeah.
most things do, with a few exceptions.
Cool.
But the tiara is not one of them.
I am the magical.
So, can you weld these together just with your laser eyes? You have laser eyes, right? You have eyes with lasers? Do you have eyes with
No.
lasers? You do have eyes with lasers.
No,
Oh.
I can fix it once I attach my new arm.
we have a soldering iron.
That's what I need.
item.
Cool.
Slightly less advanced are the tools that you need for this job.
I really just want these two items to be one item.
Yeah.
So, I can wear them both on my head and look like
You
a dweeb.
cast solder. No problem. You can do that over like the course of a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you are all looking to buy here?
Probably not here.
No.
But the things that Shade is trying to prioritize is equipment that's going to make it easier to get through lower Crowdite. Specifically with the radiation, but also like if there are a way to upgrade the already bulky tank-like car that we have so that it could travel down there safely, that would probably help us get there more quickly.
You imagine the car will very much aid you in getting down there. It would actually be very difficult for you to not get down there using the car.
Right.
Nice.
From a transit standpoint, because the MTA doesn't run there, but
Right.
also just from a standpoint of like
It's a
survival.
radiated- Right, but does it already
It's sealed.
have...
It does have
Okay,
radiation
so it does have
resistance,
radiation.
yes.
And
Okay.
also, it's probably kind of bumpy.
So then I guess
Yeah,
things
that's the
that would
biggest
help
problem.
us when we have
Potholes.
to eventually depart the vehicle is what would be the next thing
Perhaps.
that Shade would want to look into with the rest of the funds.
And having gotten armor, having gotten some upgrades for various things, you're on the way to doing that. Other ways that you might do that would be getting augments, would be finding additional armor upgrades. There are other weapons that are here, and even since you have last left, some of the inventory has turned over. There are also other items that you might be able to find. Things like insulation for armor or items. There are various kind of sealants and things that you could buy or find. And then in terms of like, there's always magic. Gibbs has already found a couple of magical items in the fight shop. Maybe there are other places on Mars that have them as well. But all of those things would be ways that you could kind of prepare for that. You do have the big box of anti-radiation supplies as well.
Oh yeah, I bought this whole box of anti-radiation supplies. I should go look at it someday.
Someday.
Before we go down to where all the radiation is.
Maybe just after.
Yeah, I didn't think that was
I
like
should
on
have
our
unboxed
agenda.
it before we left.
Hey, so guys, so it seems like we're all pretty good on shopping, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want to go and try to recruit some other fighters to help us?
I would like to go and attach this arm.
Oh, well, can me and...
You can go and meet the fighters.
So we're doing.
Do you want
that-
to come, Gibbs?
Yeah, and they're gonna help us blow up these bridges, or we're waiting for
Don't
later.
discuss that part of the plan.
Yeah, it's just a job. We'll give them... It's a need-to-know information.
You are a fighter within the Fighters Guild.
Yeah. Okay, but like.
Maintain that.
Okay, in telepathy, I'm gonna say, what are we hiring these people to do? Just.
Blow up the bridge.
Okay.
I would think that since Gladira is useful for blowing up the bridge, the fighters can help us clear out
The people.
the apartment building. No, the other one.
Oh, got it. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. All right.
Oris, whatever it is.
The
that I
Palace
cannot
of
The
pronounce.
Palace
Oris
of Oris.
itself.
Right.
Thank you.
Apartment building.
I just couldn't
Yeah.
remember what
And
it's
also
called.
the diner will have to be cleared out as well.
Yeah, but that can be cleared out with like,
Dippin'
yeah.
Diane's
be,
is like
be
a
safe,
fish
stay
stall.
away.
I wonder if any of the
We're setting up
ones
for a
are
show.
already known bounty hunters because they
Um.
have bounty boards at Hogan's anyways. Are any of the fighters on the roster?
Good
Like-
question.
Are they already aligned with bounty hunting? Like, are they already on like the board? The
Great question.
that guy's board?
So,
TJ. Yeah.
Can I assist Gibbs? Because me and Gibbs seem like we're gonna,
Oh, yeah.
gonna do
Sure.
this. Can I do my bounty theme
you
background?
absolutely
Nice.
We'll give
Cool.
you the help action to put
Yes.
your arm on.
Yeah. What?
And we'll do this.
I'll help Bubs.
Find where
I'm the
all
ideas
the
person.
things Here.
We did it together.
Shade and Echo go to like the locker room, and
is
Echo helps Shade
An
screw his arm on.
engineering Like
Bounty Hunter reliable.
11,
twist off.
Oh, that is quite useful.
25.
25.
Nice.
So you take
It's
a look
like a mannequin.
across, and you would actually see that there are a few fighters. Specifically, you had actually passed by a Skittermander on your way in here, I believe. I don't remember if I had narrated them out, but they were in the hallways. There's a Skittermander in an orange jumpsuit with a white vest.
Yeah.
You had seen them just kind of like meditating off in a corner, and they are a bounty hunter.
Is
You should check.
is it like the reflector, like construction worker, orange suit, white vest?
No,
Okay.
more like prison
Prison?
jumpsuit.
Okay.
But really like actually more like Echo's coveralls.
Mhm.
And you would see that their name is Mubu Kitoraxis. Mubu Kitoraxis is their name. In the Fighter Guild, they go by the moniker The Rebel. And they are a bounty hunter that is ranked a little bit lower than you.
A little bit lower isn't bad because we're pretty high.
Right.
That's a good lead. I could think of that. Is there anyone else?
That would be easy for you to find with that check. That would be the only one.
Okay.
You are pretty positive that there are more, but especially given where you are in the rankings, you would be looking for people who are like substantially lower than you.
Okay.
This is kind of the closest one that you could find.
Honestly, we could also do lower people as well, but that'd be fine.
Well, we don't want them to just be fodder for Chester.
Well, no, some of these people aren't fodder. They're just literally just evacuators.
But you know, Skittermander's really cute. I'd love to have a Skittermander coworker.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Nice.
And me and Gibbs will
Go talk to this guy.
Okay.
Mubu
You kind of turn around. You walk over towards like the snack bar again, where they're kind of sitting outside the area.
Gibbs, do I have anything on me? Like, is there anything on my face or anything? Or
Yeah, definitely. Here, let me help you.
No, Gibbs. Oh. Gibbs, don't do.
Just Gibbs slime straight across you. You feel dirty.
Gibbs, you got a booger on your nose.
Oh, booger on my nose?
Yeah.
Good, I was saving it for later.
No,
Oh.
damn it.
I do the stitch thing.
Oh.
Get my long ass tongue on my
fantastic.
nose.
Straight up there.
And there it goes. Okay. All right. Well, at least we look good now.
Yep.
So we're gonna walk in, and What do we see as we walk? Can I roll perception or?
Yeah, sure. You can see the Skittermander. They're
Oh, he's
sitting
there.
Yeah,
Good.
they're like sitting out outside. They have a handful of these
Yeah, he could
unpopped
be
popcorn
hiding
kernels that are
small.
covered in this like caramel kind of coating, and they are just crunching through these kernels. They're also staring directly at you guys as you approach, for what it's worth.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
So we noticed you're a bounty hunter.
I noticed that you ate your boogers.
I did.
Oh,
Did you want to share?
No.
well, maybe
Right.
we don't have to offer you burgers, but how about the next what are you eating?
Are you gonna lick me?
No.
Would you? What are you partaking in?
Who are you guys?
You didn't see our fight? We were in the million credit carnage.
Cool.
I was second place, which is like first loser, obviously, because I'm super competitive and.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to eat.
Yeah. So we.
Gotta lay the groundwork first.
So do you like to
Just-
be paid money?
No, you gotta talk to him first as a person.
Make a diplomacy check.
Do you
Take
like
a minus to
money?
get the modifier.
Nice. I'm killing it though. Don't even worry about it. Woo. You can't lay the groundwork when
Hey,
people want to know what
do
you're
you
up
like
to.
Well, no, I was thinking like, hey, maybe we could buy you the next munchie meal or whatever he's eating, and then like kind of
29.
like
It's a
talk. to him,
29.
You know, like
They're
slowly.
unpop-
They
Pop-
sigh and they
Yes.
go,
Whatever he
oh, you're looking for a bounty hunter. I thought you were gonna abduct me. I thought this was
Yeah.
like a
There's a-
kidnapping
There's a
situation.
little creepy gifts.
from a dark corner.
Do I
Echo's
give
just like
abductor
what
vibes?
it needed.
I mean, I'm just trying to eat a snack.
No,
How else do you make friends?
I'm sorry, my friend is a little bit forward. What you're eating looks really good. You ever have a meat puck? These are really great. And Bub's gonna open one.
I'm okay. But what? I do like money.
Right.
That's great. Well, we have money, and we're looking for
Are you guys cops?
No.
You have to tell me if you are.
We're not. I pinky promise. Cross my heart.
With your diplomacy check, they kind of nod and they go, okay.
But we
You seem cool. I don't know about you. How long have you known him?
I don't know, like 4 months.
Leans way into you like, I think he's USR.
Okay. Well,
We don't really like them in these parts. I don't want to kill him, but,
right. But the job that we're doing is definitely not USR.
that's good, but... Like, he leans out, looks over at you for a second, and just says, I'm just saying.
Can I vouch for him?
Yeah,
I know he's
but-
kind of weird, but like
Bubs
he's got a good soul.
Bubs is gonna seem like very weird, just trying to clean himself. Like very, very like so weird that like even the USR wouldn't hire him in like a professional setting.
Make a diplomacy check,
I like
Bubbles.
that.
Oh yeah, this guy eats crayons.
He's a jarhead for
That's,
sure.
that's closer to USR territory.
Yeah.
17.
17, okay. He kind of looks out again. You're like, can I vouch for him? Looks over and just goes, I mean, what's this money for?
Well, there's a building we need to clear out of people.
Okay.
It's not really a big deal. It's just the reason why we need to clear it out is because we're kind of
The
trying.
way that you guys describe things and leave out details makes it sound like I'm gonna commit a war crime.
The reason why we don't want to tell people is, well, sometimes how there can be, infestations in like, apartment buildings and stuff like that. We want to keep it on the down low because we don't want to freak out the tenants.
Listen, I'm not gonna do your dirty work if you're a landlord.
No.
If you're trying to evict
we're
people, you
no,
have to do it.
No, we're pest control kind of people. We kind of deal with pests.
Here's the thing, Moo Boo. We can't talk openly about it, and it seems like by talking not openly about it, we're like raising your haunches, and that's not my intention.
Yeah,
So if
just
you want
tell
to
me
get
what this
more
is.
information, you gotta come to our house. And you
not.
Do you hear yourself?
not to, I want to like we want to collect people and tell them all at once. Like,
We're very worried. Look, we work for a pest control company, and we were hired to do this job. And basically,
Where? Where is there pests that are not rats?
well, that's the issue. It's a lot of the rats are kind of in these kind of areas.
I pull out the
map.
No, I took a picture of Chesterfield's bounty,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna just slide that and
That's
be
a
like,
rat.
it's kind of a rat,
Right, can we
but
just do
Looks at this and goes,
this?
"That's behind in the fight shop. I've seen that. I've seen that guy.
That's one of them.
This?
I have a personal vendetta.
Do you see how they look like a rat? Like the features?
But like human-y too, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything.
It's weird, yeah.
It's weird.
It's very
and
weird.
I knew him. I used to know him. I knew him like 5 years ago. He looked just like me.
Just like you?
Gray furred, and he was a little bigger, big boned. He was always a big boned Yosoki.
Yeah,
But
and,
he was a Yosoki. And
That's weird.
and they're located in well, they're close to T. They're not really in T Town. It's kind of in the area of that. And honestly, there is a lot of rat. We think this guy's connected to a lot of the rats that we're trying to clear out.
Yeah, no, he's living in that old building.
Yeah.
Trying to clear out the Pied Piper.
So, I mean, unless we get, we don't do this job, we won't get paid for, from the pest control. So we really need to help.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful because that guy working with Doctor guy.
Doctor Who?
He's a Aphrodite, Aries guy, Aries scientist, retired, but
Does this
they
ring
got
any
him.
bells? As Maldross, or
No.
is there a second
So-
doctor?
no,
It could be
they're saying it's a doctor, the retired doctor
Yeah.
from Aries, and that's not
Aries,
really
then.
ringing any
Alright.
bells.
Yeah, we don't know.
Chesterfield is working with the. Why is it? Do you know why? Or
No, just that's where they took him.
they took him to like a facility,
Well,
like a
not
hospital?
not Chesterfield, not Chesterfield. The lady.
Oh, the
Dippin' Diane.
Gibbon
Yeah,
not
fish
there.
lady.
But yeah, the spider lady.
Yeah, but
They
she
took her
sells
there.
fish.
And after she came back, was she less spider before and then more spider after?
Oh, just as much spider. Very spidery.
Oh. And then they took her and she came back, and what was different?
No, she took the doctor.
So Dipping Diane's took the doctor, and the doctor works with Chesterfield?
Yeah, maybe.
Alright. Took the doctor.
Um,
So
Look, I'm telling you what I know. I don't know why.
no,
no, I know.
No.
I'm confused.
Well, this is really helpful. So let's talk. If you're interested in doing this, we really need to clear out this place and maybe deal with this person. If you're interested in helping us,
What's your price?
Okay, sidebar.
At the bounty.
I'm thinking, based on what I know of this Starfinder economy, I'm guessing a fair. And can I ask you, Joe, like out of
Yeah,
character,
yeah,
if
yeah.
this is a good price?
Yeah.
10,000.
So the Chesterfield's bounty is 800,000, and if he's so if he was a seventh of
And he
that,
told you he had seen this bounty before.
Okay,
so he's
so-
aware.
so he knows how much would make.
Okay,
from it.
that's a good point.
But
That's
also,
a very good point.
we don't care. Like, I don't personally don't care about Chesterfield's bounty money.
Yeah, but I want to just get this guy interested. So I think I don't really care about the money.
20,000.
No, we could do a little bit higher
Wait,
than that.
what's 8 divided by 7?
He's not going to do it for a seventh of a job. I think probably
Oh, there's 5,
40,
6.
40K might be good. 40 or 50K.
400,000.
Well, you say
We want to give him
800?
800,000. So we want to give him
I thought you said 80.
145,000.
No, we
No,
don't.
we don't.
We don't want to give him shit.
133,000. would be
Fucking
his
zero.
Um,
We don't need this chump.
This is like you guys paused
This
the
guy-
video
this guy's-
game and you
this
broke
is
out like a pad of paper
Yeah.
and was trying to calculate it.
I think under 100 would be good, because that is still a lot of money,
Yeah.
considering he's not going to be doing any of the actual, like, he's
Right.
just going to be doing a lot of the evacuation and stuff. We're
Yeah.
going to be doing the fighting. So
All right.
80, 90,
N-
lower than 100.
90,000. But your only responsibility is to evacuate any civilians or take care of anyone. And then if we collect on Chesterfield's bounty, and are able to cash in, and you've helped us do that, we will give you this chunk.
Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
if we do all that and you guys fuck up,
Mm-hmm.
I still gotta get paid.
Okay, how about 90,000 if we cash in the bounty, and a flat 40 just to show up and be present the day that we want to do this?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a deal then.
Great.
They hold out like a little Skittermander arm.
Bub's is gonna shake
Absolutely.
one of his other arms because
They
he has
cross
4 arms.
over,
Yeah,
Nice.
shake
yeah.
through your arms. Yeah, no problem.
And here's my comm.
And Bubs will give him
Thingy.
calm as well.
You beep the comm, you beep the comm.
Okay.
You can add Mubu's comm
Nice.
information.
So 40,000 just for him to show up.
Yeah. These doubters over here.
I am glad that we sent those people to do the talking, as they seem less suspicious than we do.
Yes.
But somehow we
And
still fuck all
also,
this up.
I am glad that we have the credits and they do not. I am worried about how much they would just choose to give to people.
I'm just glad that Spice is too drunk to take the money.
Yeah, Spicy.
I think I saw Spice slip out somewhere. We should potentially check our balance. She might have slipped off to the Crimson Nebula with some extra credits.
That's like smash cut to Spice with like sunglasses on in the Crimson Nebula. just underwear flying on her face. But yeah, no problem. You get the contact information, and Mubu says, do you need anybody else?
Yeah, do you have anyone you can recommend?
Yeah, I got a friend. He's an android named Bashkit. He's pretty good.
Is he? Can you tell us about him? Is he? What does he do?
Yeah, he used to be in kind of a cult, but I mean, way over that. I get it, kind of sketchy, but they're like farmers, kind of. But they're
Which
Oh,
call?
really good at fighting.
The edict.
Oh.
It's not really a cult. You shouldn't call it that, really.
Is
Okay.
it the edict?
Yeah, the Edict of Junk.
Yeah, that could potentially be good.
And I'm gonna mentally telepath to Gibbs.
This person could possibly be an in for us to get into the edict.
Can I offer him the same deal?
Well, we've got to interview him first.
Okay, where?
Do you want to come by? I got laundry to do later. There's this laundromat I like to go to. That's usually pretty empty.
What's laundry?
Well, do you have clothes?
I mean, I have armor.
Yeah, like you know when your orange jumpsuit gets dirty, sometimes you want to like wash it.
I just throw it away.
Oh, I should try that.
Yeah, fast fashion's where it's at.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be hanging out here if you want to tell him where.
Okay, I'll see if I can go find him.
Just make sure he contacts us on the comms before he comes over.
Okay. Where?
It's located in T-Town.
I'm gonna give him the location of the
Okay.
It's Sudsy Wudsies.
SNS.
Sassy Watsy.
No, it's SNS.
Thank you for repeating that in that voice. That made me so happy.
And I'll show him like on the comms mat where it is.
Sure,
and everything.
sure.
So it was nice meeting you.
Oh, that's in T-Town.
Yeah.
It's tough to get
Yeah.
to T-Town.
Yeah, there's some
Remember.
guys there that are kind of rough.
Well, we can meet him somewhere, maybe in like
In
the
the fighters. Guild.
Oh yeah, we could.
we can meet him here, or we can meet him somewhere else. Maybe, there's various places. We went to this really good ice cream shop. I believe it was.
Bashkit
right.
and Biomancers don't get along.
Oh,
But could he come here? Maybe he's not part of the Fighters Guild, but
Yeah, he can come here.
okay. Well,
He's a registered member of the Fighters Guild.
oh nice.
oh, nice. Yeah.
Is he on the bounty boards too?
No, he's not a bounty hunter.
Okay.
He's a farmer who
Oh.
can kick people from really far away.
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I want to meet him just to meet him, even if we don't hire him. But that's neither here nor there. And don't tell him I said that, because I don't want him to think that we think he's cool yet.
But he is cool. That's why he's my friend.
No, he sounds very impressive. Honestly, it sounds like maybe we could possibly use someone like them. But for now, we'll just we have you, we have your contact information, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah,
Okay.
dinner tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Tonight?
Well, if you
Well-
can get your friend.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll bring one
Well,
more.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to do dinner tonight, but can we do a rain check on the dinner? We love to eat. We know
I'm
you
getting
love
different
to eat.
messages.
Well, no, my friend didn't remember that we had plans.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, I'll text you.
Okay.
And we'll see if we can all meet up. Big group chat.
Kind of nod.
Nice.
Anything else?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Bye.
You turn around, you make your way out.
Bam.
And
Get
you have-
Shade's arm installed during that interlude.
you can
Yeah,
definitely start the process of
We
doing
started
that.
rocky. We gotta lay groundwork first. You know, we can't just be like,
No,
do a
it makes
job.
people suspicious if you like fluff them up too much.
No, that's how conversations work.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it only takes you 15 minutes to install it.
I'm saying I did better.
For
You
you.
get- no, you
I
did
think it
good.
should take an hour
But
for
you
most.
gotta-
I think it takes
you
15
gotta
Oh
lay
yeah, it's like a
groundwork.
quarter of the time
Be like,
now,
hey,
I
what do you
think.
use?
So if it's only an hour.
So actually, though you were maybe saying it as a joke,
No, I wasn't.
as you guys come back,
Oh.
Shade has this new arm installed. You can
Ooh,
see
bright and
there is
shiny.
the sort of feedback module empty within the palm of the hand, but aside
Oh,
from that,
wow.
nice and installed. Certainly bright and shiny.
Echo's done the thing that you used to do at the kids a mall was where you like get your new outfit and then you put it on and then just put your old one in the bag.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. You're wearing it out of the store.
Is
Bob-
it calibrated yet? Can you do this? And then you got to do this one too.
It is fully integrated.
Oh.
Nice.
The pinky comes off and it's just like there's the USB dongle.
Oh, the most important dongle.
It's bigger.
Can you catch stuff? Here, catch this. And Bubs is gonna throw a meat puck.
It just hits him in the face.
Slap.
Oh wow, that was so fast.
It was the wrong
It was
hand.
the wrong.
Oh, it was still pretty fast.
Well, so you guys seem to have been successful. We were successful in hiring Mubu Ketosis. And I tell you the deal.
God bless you.
No, it's a Skittermander. He's on the bounty board. Look, he's 561 or
I
whatever.
love Mubu.
Yeah, Mubu.
What's his name?
Mubu Cortesis.
Oh man.
I don't know,
it's
I wrote-
Mubu Kitterexis. is their
Kitterexis.
name. Mubu Kitterexis. That's so much better. So no problem. You have made this ally. You have upgraded many of your items. Where are you going next, or what are you doing?
We still
next?
have 40k. Or sorry,
You still have
400k.
400,000 credits.
We still have 400k.
Minus whatever we're paying Skittermander and
Well,
Robo
that's
Dude.
assuming we don't get the bounties for completing that part of the mission.
Yeah, because I would get paid out of that one. So, but, you know, Bob said an interesting thought. The guy he wants to bring on, sort of like phone a friend, is one of the people that might help us later.
Yeah, he works. Well, he used to be an ex-member of the Edict. So maybe that could
Of junk.
they possibly could be an in for us to, you know, get into.
You said an ex-member.
Well,
At
maybe
the
they won't
very-
be an in for us, but maybe they can just at least give us some inside information.
At the very least, they might have more inside information that the director was missing.
That is also true.
Anyway, we should probably check out the rad equipment that Gibbs purchased
Oh, yeah.
before
Speaking,
making any further purchases.
I would like to go check out the Blue Rat Apartments to investigate the silo.
And all the
As soon as
security or
possible.
lack thereof.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Equipment first. Perhaps. As a missile silo.
May be useful.
Might also have radiation.
Great. Well, let's just commute our way. Smash cut to.
Yeah.
Let's just commute our way to Smash Cut right outside.
Half an
Echo-
hour of
Echo's-
unboxing
Echo
later.
speeds off, and the tradition is a dust cloud, and it just
Well, it's like
clears it
right
away.
down
Yeah.
the street
Phenomenal.
from the.
Fighters Guild?
Oh well, no. I
No,
guess
we're
we-
at a fighter
That's
guild.
what I
so-
meant.
Yeah.
We're
So
now
we
at
have to
the-
go to the apartment.
get our rad
You
gear.
trek through the warehouses.
That coffee
Excuse
for
me, I
you.
got up really early this morning.
Okay.
Through the warehouses, through the burned out elements of the community housing projects, back to the train station. Echo, you have long since arrived back. You've kicked your feet up. You have already consumed an entire handful of yellow nutrient cubes.
Echo's
the time
opened up the
everybody
box and
else
laid
gets
out its
on the
contents
train.
neatly.
Yeah, I forget what I asked
yeah.
for.
It takes a
Hopefully
while,
Joe
but
remembers.
you make your way back, no problem. It is about 6:30, 7 o'clock when you make your way back to the laundromat, all of you.
Oh, I ordered hazmat slim sleeves and ecological suits that protect from radiation.
Yes, you did.
What?
And
even
I
know
will
that.
say the box that you got, kind of big for just containing that,
Oh dear.
for what it's worth.
Hopefully, if you
Oh,
send us some
shit.
baker's chocolate.
If
It's
they're
a pipe bomb.
if they are synth sleeves, usually synth sleeves have a specific duration until they
Correct.
are no longer good.
Correct.
So,
How many do we have?
Let's open the box.
Let's finish getting there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you
Let's
So
originally.
you
Open
get
the
back,
box.
you make your way into the kind of almost garage-like structure. Oh, boy. That is attached to the first floor. And off on that side, amongst all the various boxes, is the huge box that you had delivered from Mosaic Corporate. And Gibbs, as you take a little crowbar and crack this open, you open it up. Puppies. No, I'm kidding.
They were dead. They had no hair.
He was like, you know what? They would love to have some pets.
You know,
I know
they
they were
really like
anti-radiation.
squeak. So how about 101 squeaks?
You see something a little bit more substantial than you were imagining. You do see some suits that are a little bit like thin, silvery, and you can see like view plates over them. These are very advanced looking anti-radiation suits. But you see more than everything else, this cylinder that is out of polished steel. It has some kind of it almost looks like a giant spray paint can.
Okay.
But because it is 8:15, this is where we're going to take a quick break before we come back for the end of our session. Thank you for sticking with us through this shopping session. We'll be back in just a little bit. There'll be a countdown on your screen. We will see you at the end of it.
Nice.
We're back. Thank you for sticking with us through the break if you did. If not, welcome to our Starfinder game.
Sorry.
And we've just finished shopping. Our group has returned to their hideout that is located both within and above and around a laundromat. And while you have finally opened this crate, you reveal within a huge, what looks almost like a spray bottle. There is no real markings on this, and so maybe some investigation required. It looks like, I would say, Gibbs, make a perception
Is it
check.
like a giant synth
Sure.
spray can?
It looks like that, yes. The suits themselves are made of a material that is very
Dirty 20.
dirty 20. There's something familiar to this design. You're
Is
not
this
quite sure what it
Is it like
is.
a
Fish?
giant bottle?
The bottle itself does look like a giant bottle. It's like a giant spray paint can. And you don't know much more
I
than
dig
that.
through the box. There's suits, and there's synth sleeves, and there's this big old canister thing, right?
Correct.
Great. I run upstairs with the canister thing. I found something, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, yeah. You bring this upstairs. Huge. It looks like it's machined aluminum.
Can Echo make it?
Yeah.
Make an
what-
engineering check.
What is it?
I don't know.
Make an engineering.
Was there a note in the box?
No note in the box.
Oh, I was gonna put it back down and run it downstairs and check.
35.
35.
42.
With a 35 and a 42, you look at this and it is a giant bottle of synth sleeve is not too far off, but this is a little bit more advanced and there is a metal base to this. And so this will work much more like a car paint. And to that end, if you wanted to protect your vehicle from radiation, this would likely do that. And it will make it, instead of you will lose the effects of that metamorphic kind of shifting paint that you currently have that works as a projector. But you would instead have protection from radiation and kind of a nice, like, bronze color to your car.
And you said, worst comes to worst, we can use it as a backup in case our suits break.
So we have 3 items. We have the suits, we have the synth sleeves themselves, and then we have this car.
Oh, okay. I
radiation
thought
bullshit.
the suits.
And
was
the car stuff, I would say, with your check especially, you know that for this to apply and to adhere, it heats up to a
basically-
very high temperature, almost like an epoxy. And so if you
So,
use
like-
this on yourself,
Ow.
It's gonna burn.
it will first meld your armor to
Yeah.
your skin,
And
and then
you'll-
your skin to your bones, and then your bones to the armor on the
Yeah,
other
I've
side.
seen epoxy.
maybe better than radiation. Plus,
Yes,
you know.
Echo.
Can Echo do
Very painful.
during the intervening time where they're commuting? Can Echo do like an infosphere shopping search for radiation converters?
Sure.
See if anyone in Aphrodite sells them.
You're on Craigslist.
Yep.
Not a sponsor. I wish it was a spawn. Do I?
If you are looking for radiation converters, okay, make a sense motive check.
Sense.
There's a lot of advertisements seeking them.
Ah.
Oh, that makes sense. Supply and demand.
Dirty 30.
Beyond supply and demand. You know a thing or two about supply and demand. And the number of people looking for them in an environment heavily saturated with radiation, it almost seems like a wasted resource here. This, from the ambient sort of surroundings, would be able to power a lot. And looking at these ads, some of these people are looking to replace stolen radiation converters.
Interesting.
It-
Echo would distribute that information.
Okay, you do so.
Stolen radiation converters.
And Echo, so basically, Echo like gives you the specs of a radiation converter,
Yeah.
which is basically an item that is fairly bulky, but it converts radiation in like a certain radius
Clean
into
air.
no
Into
it-
power.
into power.
Ah.
So like yes, but also
Ah.
so it cleans up the radiation and makes it safe within like 10 feet, and it has like various ratings.
That's so
Oh, boy.
cool.
We need to find where the nuke is. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Do nukes get off radiation?
Yes. Yes.
I get it.
Oh boy.
So do you want to go look at that silo?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Big empty butthole for us to delve into.
Shade's gonna
Why
just
do you phrase it that way, Gibbs?
I wish
quietly
I was a
get
Cray.
up and start walking over to the Blue Rat Apartments.
Okay.
Do you want company?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want all company?
We should be cautious.
So, yes?
Yes.
I can't see invisibility, but I can see magic dust.
I can hear invisibility.
Ooh.
It's pretty cool.
Bubs is gonna pull out the information just on his comms, just to have it ready. He's not gonna have it open, but just to have it ready. The location of the janitor's closet, where he can get into the back door. And did he give me instructions on how to get into from the janitor's closet, or just janitor's closet?
Just janitor's closet.
Okay, we'll have to have someone help us.
I have clearance!
I declare it. You make your way out the street and then to the right over towards the Blue Rat Apartments, the steel building that has some faded purple banners that are barely legible. You enter the interior, also very faded purple. Purple chairs in the hallway, tacky art of Martian landscapes, pre-pollution. Also faded in the hallway here. It looks almost like frontier paintings, but of Mars. And you can see some artificial plants here. There's only 3 floors. Bubbles, you lead people around to the back, and there is slightly misaligned to the main doorway, a sort of service entrance. The doorway, you note, Bubbles, is a tiny bit shorter than a traditional doorway. It feels like you would almost kind of scrape the top of your head walking under.
Okay, guys. I think this is it.
Bubs is gonna look around left and right. Does he see anyone in the hallway or anything?
Make a perception check.
Are there any, because you told us that it was 1 live guard and then the rest was all
Yes.
automated, right? Are there any signs of like a high-level security system
Make a
here?
perception check.
15 plus 17 is 32.
Okay. With the 32 Bubbles, you make your way in. It's dark inside, but amongst the faded purple bits of furniture and decoration, you get a little bit closer to the store. And you're looking around, trying to find any signs of inhabitants. You're not seeing any. And you're really not seeing any signs of passage. As you open the door, there is, at the ground, a little bit of kind of bits of dust and things like that. People haven't used this doorway for some time. Your check was? 25. With the 25, you do note on the doorway in front of you, there is a sort of keypad that is designed for a security key card access. That is certainly, it goes into the wall and has a larger power connection than you would imagine a device like this would need. And so almost certainly there is a defensive measure as well.
With my perception check of 32, does that include the keypad?
Yeah.
Can I look at the keypad? You said the place was very dusty. Bubs is
Yes.
very good at checking out dust.
This is true.
Would Bubs be able to see on the keypad if there is an area where there is not as much dust compared where if someone had entered a code?
With the 25, absolutely. But
32.
again, the 32, absolutely. You can see it is not a keypad
Oh,
like
not a
that.
keypad,
It is
yeah.
for a key to be tapped
Oh,
against.
key swipe.
The place that has no dust is the place that you would tap the key card on.
Perfect.
That does tell you that it's been used in the
Okay.
past. But with it being like a vertical surface, dust wouldn't cling as easily.
Okay,
It's hard to
Can
tell
I
how long that might be.
bypass it to try
Make a computer's check.
Echo has their echolocators
disable,
Okay.
unfurled.
disable
Make a
the,
perception check with your echolocators.
So I think I automatically disable 1 countermeasure with my bypass. With
Yes.
exocortex.
Yes.
Um,
25.
so then I would
Sounds
be
pretty quiet.
trying to get the next one or hacking
Bypass.
into the for full access. I'm gonna use my reroll.
There you go.
That's a very good use of the reroll.
You don't want a natty one in a
It was-
nuclear silo?
No! So, not a great start, but now it's good because that's 43.
Shade, this feels like it will be a fairly simple task. And you find yourself almost beginning to do the android equivalent of sweat as you are furiously trying to keep up with a very simple code that just grows more complex. It seems to almost have other faces as it turns, and you barely succeed by 3.
It's the pop-up thing where it just keeps popping up.
It's more like as you are hacking into it, it's almost taking the concept of a false shell and applying it to the
It's like
actual
false
framework
shell,
of
false
the
shell,
yes,
false
but
shell, false
but not even false shells like the operating system. the very line that you are typing in isn't actually input to anything.
Uh,
You realize that it is in and of itself floated on top of another layer of like overview, and
so you have
like
to
there's
go
just
through the keyboards.
there's a lot that
It's
you
like
have to
keyboard,
do.
keyboard,
And every time
keyboard.
that you feel like you're like, oh, okay, this is just a program that is being run through like whatever, you clear that, and it's just another layer that you're pulling away and seeing that it's something else entirely. But you are still able to break through all of that programming. This is almost certainly a military grade defensive measure.
Okay, so
You
we're in the
imagine
right
the
place.
countermeasure probably also pretty
So we're in the right
durable.
place. Okay.
And you bypass it. The door clicks to green. There is a gentle of air that just negatively pressurizes out, and you can make your way in. You can see in front of you there is a staircase directly inside this doorway. The reason that the frame is a little bit lower is because the landing is on a concrete block that is maybe 3 inches down under the actual level of the apartment, and you can see this stairwell. Your echolocators suddenly just begin to pick up a echo of this place as this drops at least 10 stories down.
Guys, remember, we're not here to, cause any trouble. We want the USR to know that we're here to help and investigate. So, let's have the safeties on our weapons.
Don't touch anything. Just look. If you see something suspicious, tell everyone.
Do you not want to investigate the security rooms?
We should investigate everything, but we can't tamper with anything either.
How are we to watch the video playback?
That is fine.
You told us not to touch it.
I mean more dangerous things.
I think Captain meant like metaphorically. But come on, guys, let's go.
You begin to step
Bubba's
downstairs.
Bubba's will be okay. I'll explain metaphors to Echo later.
Basically, we're in
That's
a
the
fucking
problem.
nuclear silo, so we should still be fucking careful.
Yeah.
But you,
Yes.
you did say not to touch anything. So
Yeah, but we don't need to do the
Why do we
little
have to hack it?
genie.
Didn't we get like a key card from the guy?
no, we just got clearance. So we have the ability.
You're allowed to
know.
know about this.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
We don't have the key card.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
And
Gibbs,
we
you
should have
think
knocked.
about that, and
Yeah.
like, you think maybe that's weird. They probably would have sent us a key card.
Yeah.
But you think that.
Shouldn't we tell the guard we're here so they don't shoot us?
Exactly.
You make your way down the stairs.
Hello?
It
Hello?
echoes. Hello, 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 hello. And it echoes down this dark stairs. And as you say that, lights just begin to light up. And this whole stairway, you can now see straight down, not just 10 stories. This is a 12-story recessed silo that the staircase, maybe 5 stories down, just is a central sort of metal staircase, and then it just opens to a huge space underneath. A huge, very empty space.
So is a nuke the size of a building?
A nuke is very large, yes. It's
That's why we're all like, how the fuck did
Right.
we steal a nuke?
it's hard to do.
Yeah.
And you're now looking as you get down past the 5th floor,
Mm-hmm.
suddenly the space opens up and your echolocators now, it's like suddenly the absence of reflection of sound because it is this voluminous cavernous space. Each of your footsteps just echoes off of it. And as you make your way down, there is certainly no missile here.
Yeah.
As you get 7 stories down, you find yourself flush with this big glass window. And looking in, you can see a number of stone desks, completely clear of electronic equipment. You can see outlets. You can see a few lamps and things that have been left behind that are currently off. But you are looking into emptied offices. You make your way down a few more stories and you get to a place where there is a big metal floor that would open up into a number of different desks. You can see old computer equipment. This equipment is so old, you can see some of you may have not even heard of these, but almost certainly, Bubbles, you have been told about these things called Blu-ray or DVD, maybe even CDs. But you can see what look like actual disk drives that at one point may have been able to eject out of this wall. This is just ancient technology.
So, from what Echo knows of information systems within corporations versus government,
Yeah.
does this level of technology track for what Echo would expect to see in like the
Yes.
US? Okay.
1,000%.
Yes.
So the USR during the Vesk War, that was the last time that they upgraded their strategic arsenal. Prior to that was the Second Cold War, almost 120 years ago.
And Mars was a very early colony.
Mars was the earliest colony off of Earth. So when you think about this, yes, this is spot on what you would expect to see.
Fun fact. Also true in real life.
Hey.
So there's no guard here now because there's no nuke here.
Not only is there no nuke here, this spot, classified, had already had a nuke taken from it.
Right.
You realize that the reason they didn't send you a key card was
Yeah.
because there's nothing here.
Right.
And you would remember that somebody had told you that already. But things had been largely cleared out. Now, what I will say is you do see the security system is left in place. You can see that there are cameras here, but there are no computer systems that would store the data. The physical cameras themselves are still intact.
Would you like assistance with hacking into the system?
Yes.
While they're doing that, can Bubs use his feet, the 20-foot
Echo has to
square,
jack in.
to check areas for clues?
Echo's either
Yeah,
jacking in
absolutely.
Um,
Where are you checking?
Well,
Bubs is going to check. Basically, you said this is basically like a bunch of cubicles where they're in like kind of like old office supplies that have been basically removed. So there's like a lot of like Blu-rays and stuff like that. Bubs doesn't want to go into the area where like like the lounge area where people kind of relax or anything. Bubs kind of wants to go to maybe like around the desks area or something where the computers were.
Sure.
And he's gonna just he's gonna check like in the drawers to make sure for anything between the
Okay.
gaps.
Sure.
People lose things
Sure,
between
sure,
gaps. A lot of pen drives fall between gaps. Various areas, maybe check in the trash, or they left the trash can. Various areas he can look for and find.
Gibbs is gonna get us all new pens.
Make a perception check.
Do I do this with my thing or
You do.
Okay. That is a 7 plus 17 is 30,
24.
24, yes.
24. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Okay.
What time is it? Is it 6:30?
And sorry, you said those 24?
close to like 7 now.
It's like 7.
You gonna use it?
Let me see here. Even I do it.
You got
Nope, that's odd, so I'm
Okay.
not gonna do it.
What was the number?
24.
With the 24, you are going through, you feel very comfortable here.
Yeah.
And you realize that it's because it's quite clean.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of dust near the kind of byways and things, but that's because this place was cleared out. You do get the nagging sensation. There's a feeling in the back of your brain that there is something that was left behind because something feels a little out of place. You feel like they probably forgot to clean maybe one thing, but you can't for the life of you. And you're looking around in a silo. It could be many places. Something's not clean here, though.
So I want to look at the security footage, but it's not powered?
There is a power here because the lights came on. There is
Okay.
no computer banks. There is no servers or anything like that.
Right.
Um,
Okay. So would we be able to connect via the cameras
most cameras don't store information
Right,
like that.
yeah.
You
But
might be able to
track
pull.
where it's
You-
connected to?
Yeah. Oh, you could definitely do that. That's easy enough.
Right,
You just
and find
you would
where-
imagine there isn't really like a data center left. That was probably
That has
both
been
removed and probably
dislodged.
destroyed.
Okay.
That would be the evidence that they lost a nuke, so they don't want that out.
So it's still not there, yeah. Okay.
You could potentially pull the last 12 seconds or so off this camera.
Nice.
Just what is stored in like the flash memory of the actual device. Outside of that, it would be tough.
Nice.
I guess, yeah, I would attempt to do that.
Okay. Are you helping? How are you helping?
Echo can like connect directly to the system, but not like wireless hack. So they'd probably like be kind of tracking through other camera systems to find any like hard-coded backups, because some cameras
Make a
have like,
perception
hard
check.
storage.
While I'm doing this, can Bubs ask Gibbs? Gibbs, I can only
Have a
see
computer
things
check?
when they're clean. I can't see dirt. Can you help me find this?
Sure. Yeah. 1 second. Gibbs is poised herself on one of the like catwalk things and is waiting for Shade to sort of turn his back. And Gibbs takes like a paperclip off a desk and is gonna throw it into the like hole, because Bastion's whole thing was
Ecological.
invisibility. Is the nuke still here? It's just
Ah!
The
That's funny.
paperclip, you throw it, and it just falls.
invisible. Damn.
I love that idea.
That would've been-
Somebody mentioned that earlier, and I was like, "That's such a cool fucking idea." I wish I thought of
Like
that.
the whole government's just inept, and
I
they just sort of
love
like, we
that.
lost
I
it, and
love
it's been
that
here the
idea.
whole time.
It's not her. Because like, if you send somebody to go look, what are they gonna do? Like look and just go like this? Like they're gonna go and be like, "There's no fucking missile, gone." Like,
Right.
But no,
Yeah.
you throw the paperclip, it just goes like clear through. It doesn't.
Right.
seem
Gibbs,
to
we're
be-
trying to find something that's clean. We're not trying to make more of a mess.
Yep,
For
you
perception
got it.
check.
Gibbs will turn away and help Bubs on his quest.
Do you want to go down that area? Is there? We can go forward a little bit more.
I want to look where you missed something, right?
Oh yeah, we can do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, because you missed something, or like you were in that office
Yeah.
area.
With
Yeah.
the 27,
I was
there's
just
no
doing something already.
hard
Yeah, yeah.
connections to computers. The machines themselves have been removed. And so there isn't really a place that would allow you to help, but you rule out options for Shade. And we'll say that gives you a +2 conditional modifier.
Damn. Sorry, son.
Hey, it's help.
All right. So I can't do both my exocortex and myself because it's through the camera, right?
Yeah, it's not really a computer.
Okay. So that's, I think, let me just double check. +2, right?
Mhm.
That's a 32.
Is there anything that anybody can do to assist in this moment?
I'm helping somebody else.
With a 32,
I've already
you
insisted.
cannot. You can get very grainy footage. You see that there's two vaguely humanoid-looking figures that are kind of moving about across multiple cameras. You can see that just beyond that 32, there is other data available from retinal scanners, bioscanners. There is some sequencing from DNA that might be available. There's maybe thermal sensing on the floors that could be used, but all that you can pull is just some gritty footage the last couple seconds, and there were two people here that would kind of confirm what that person had told Spice and Gibbs.
I would share the footage for what it's worth.
Is that the crying lady from the bar?
Make a perception check. You squint. It's really grainy footage.
Then I want to take a more mechanical approach to
Okay.
it and see like where the actual missile was housed.
Yeah.
Like structurally, how would they be able to have gotten that out without like, did they burrow underneath or something? Is
Yeah.
there some sign that they came in a different way? Because like, is the structure just completely untouched? It looks
engineering
like it
check,
just
absolutely.
fucking teleported away.
Yeah, make an engineering check. You go down, kind of walking all the way down to the bottom and step out into the base of the silo. And welcome, Olive.
We're in the
Coming
silo.
straight from fashion. Look at you.
I don't need to
What's up?
participate.
42.
42. With a 42 at the very bottom of the space, you look around at the base of this where the rocket sort of module would be. You're not expecting to see any burn marks, like they didn't fire this off out of this place to leave it. But nevertheless, you find some interesting marks. They're very, very minor. But it looks almost like maybe something very small was anchored in 4 points around this missile, if it's roughly the size that you would imagine it to be. Down here, you're not seeing any trapdoors. You're not seeing any sort of like ways of egress. But thinking about your team and the things that you have available to you, at least one of your party members has the ability to teleport.
Yeah?
Can you take a look at this?
Yeah, I'll be right there. Hold on, I'm taking a look at something for Bubs. But also, is this woman familiar? I rolled a 18.
An 18. both of those people could be that woman.
Damn. They both look like they've been crying lately, so it's hard to tell. Can I assist Bubbles in finding, like, I want to, like, sense motive what Bubbles is missing?
Okay.
Like, because he's such a good, keen dog person.
Make a medicine check.
Sure.
Ooh.
Sure.
You know that you're not going to find dirt. That
19
Bubbles didn't
plus
find.
22 is 31.
31.
Can I assist?
19 plus 22 is
Yeah, like
40.
40.
41?
Okay. With a 41.
Yeah.
Gibbs. You're walking around. You're looking around. This place has been very, very well cleaned.
Uh-huh.
As you sort of examine the space, you do come to the sort of desks where there are like all these mountings along the wall that would indicate maybe like security footage monitors and stuff. This is probably where all the cameras were witnessed at one point, but none of that has been left behind. You do note there is a tiny bit of paint that's out of place, and with a 42 or a 41,
41 probably.
you recognize that it's not paint. It's just a tiny drop. It looks almost a little bit of aerosolized blood, but there is the faintest bit of blood on the ground. Just a little bit.
What did you find, Gibbs?
It's blood on the ground.
Well, who do you think it is?
Well, this is a room where guards used to sit. Maybe there was a scuffle and the USR is just not being honest about it.
Spice, come down here, please.
Did you call me?
That is a lot of body glitter you have on.
Oh, don't mind this. It's just a touch. Just a little bit, and she'll shed glitter and splatter it on the ground.
Nice. So this previously like cleaned by military intelligence operations site, now very much just
Each
glitter.
step, there's a little bit of pink glitter.
Yeah.
I believe this is an undergarment.
Oh, where did you find that? That was not supposed to be there.
We have a chemical analyzer in our inventory that
You have
Shay
the
gave us in our
teleportation mod,
backpack.
right?
Yeah.
Would I be able to put that blood through the chemical analyzer and see what species it belongs to?
Wait, can't you do one better and put it in your compass?
That's what I was gonna do.
Nice.
But yes, but I want to see if it's a human or if it's an elf. Because if it's an elf, it's Bastion.
So make a physical sciences check. This is a chemical substance.
I'm gonna help him by
Yes.
scraping it
Thank
carefully
you.
off of the
Yes.
wall to make sure he gets the biggest sample possible.
So Gibbs, if you would like to, you can make. I would say with this, given it is you, Gibbs, you could also make a mysticism check.
Oh,
yes,
gladly.
Gibbs!
Yeah.
Yes,
Nice.
Gibbs.
This is rules as written by the chemicalizer.
Oh, 18.
14.
Plus 23.
14 plus 0. I got a 14 flat.
41.
14 flat.
I got another 41.
So you see
Nice.
Bubs takes the chemicalizer and kind of like tries to like scrape up some of the blood, but doesn't seem willing to touch it.
Yeah.
And so is just kind of motioning it in the general vicinity. That's not going to work. You go, you take it, and using your token spell, you just magically get some of that blood to just separate from the ground and go right into this analyzer. And you kind of look at it, and using your ability to channel mystical energy, you don't look at the readings of it. You really get a feel for this. You kind of close your eyes.
The
You feel
vibes
the
are telling
juice
me.
that is in your bottle begin to bubble and change, and you get the sense that this is blood that belongs. Moment here.
Come on.
I'm curious as to who you're rooting for.
Oh, but to be an
I
elf.
don't even
'cause
know.
If it's an elf, that means it's Bastion's blood.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of elves.
There's elves all over.
Yeah, but
the
this is
place.
the nuclear
I
silo
have
where
so
Bastion
many
broke
sections
in.
open now.
It narrows it down.
Send you
Yeah.
resources.
It does
would have
not-
some words for you.
Yeah.
It does not eliminate him as the one who's blood.
Well, elves are pretty rare in this universe.
This is blood that is from a Lashunta.
This is blood
Ooh.
from a Lashunta. I'm getting telepathy vibes from this reading.
Tastes like
I believe they said that there was a Lashunta working there.
She did?
She did. So it wouldn't be worth it to put in the compass unless Bastion had someone helping them who was a Lashunta.
Wait, or this was the guard?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, waste
But
with the
why
guard.
would there be blood of the guard here?
Maybe there was a struggle. I don't know. Continue.
This place has been deep cleaned by the USR. Why is there blood here? After all, you were able to remove a sample. It would not be difficult for the USR to clean off a blood sample.
But that also means, more importantly, really this just looks like mist. It was on like halfway up the wall, But it also means that they're not being honest about it just disappearing.
Well, for what it's worth,
struggle.
like, you barely found it.
Yeah.
Bubbles didn't find it, and Bubbles can typically find a mess on anything.
Yeah.
This is of the kind of size and quality that could potentially be overlooked.
Yeah.
It may not have to do with dishonesty. You may have found something that they didn't.
It might be worth it to figure out whose blood it is, to find out who was part of the struggle.
Is there anything else in your absolute compass?
And Gibbs, you notice
Yeah,
that
we do.
as you're kind of using your mystic abilities, the juice in your bottle is still bubbling. As you hold this chemalizer that has this blood in it, there is something that is just kind of fizzing away within that.
Oh, it makes my magic feel weird, guys. It's, this happens whenever this guy is mutagen-y stuff.
Do you think maybe it has to do with... Do you think maybe there's some guy mutagen in there?
I think the person is probably enhanced or impacted by the guy's mutagen the way that all of us are.
Well, you mean your bottle and my blood.
Yeah.
So either it's possibly someone who is with the biomancers because they're kind of maybe possibly enhanced by the guy's mutagen, or it's one of, the 5 children.
Again,
Lashunta,
a
no.
Lashunta wouldn't be one of the 5 children.
Which
Yeah.
makes me think it's my mom.
Why would your mother be part of
'Cause
an
she's
infiltration mission?
Well, the only reason why I'm making that connection is because she had something to do with Gaia's mutagen.
Yes, but I believe your mother would just pay somebody to do it for
Yeah,
her.
that would make sense.
I could see that.
But maybe we put it in a
I wanna
compass and we
check
go see
out-
who it is.
Yeah.
I think that is
Spice's
our best option.
teleportation tech to see how it could be conceivably
Sure.
like that.
With your
method.
previous check, there's something to that.
Mm.
The way that the armor upgrade has to be installed at various points across the actual body mimics the way that these 4 points are spread more or less where the stabilizers would be for a missile of this size. This was not something that was carried out. You get the sense that there was maybe not even entirely technology, maybe some magic involved in this as well.
That's
Oh.
That's why. Yeah.
Oh, let me
Put
blink.
both down there.
I detect magic. Is there remnants of magic?
Yes.
It's magic!
That's why I asked you
There
to
are
come down.
I was busy.
intense remnants of magic in this place. Somebody has cast a very high level spell in this entire sort of silo. And then as you direct your attention to where you found the blood, there is another powerful spell that must have been cast there as well.
Can I know what the spell is? I have a thing. I have a feat.
You tell me?
Well, I have a feat that, like, if it's being cast at me and I can identify it, I get, like, a plus whatever to do it.
Nice.
Can I
It would
can I
work for this.
intuit with the blood spatter that's there?
It's gone.
the
So like the
magic?
tiny little bit that Gibbs scraped away, it was barely there. When I say a drop, like
Yeah.
Literally like
if Gibbs hadn't rolled above a 40,
mm,
wouldn't have found it with the medicine.
Would I
check.
be able to put in the compass?
Yeah, you could
Okay.
you could tap it out of the chem analyzer into the compass.
Does it work? Does it spin to, like... Because it has to
Are
be
you
on this
doing that?
planet.
Yeah.
Okay. You open up the chem analyzer, kind of like fumbling it open. It's not really designed for this.
I'm gonna have Gibbs just... Gibbs, can you hold this?
Yeah.
Very, very careful, Gibbs.
This is kind of like, you kind of have to like dump out the contents of a dehumidifier. It's very challenging. And so you are able to empty it out and into the actual compass itself, no problem.
Gibbs, you're shaking. Oh, no, wait, that's me. Sorry.
And the compass just spins around and then sticks. And it is certainly pointing to a place on this planet. And as you see, I believe it gives you the coordinates.
Yeah,
Yep.
it works like known coordinates,
it's,
but
like,
better.
right in front of us where that
Or, well,
other
kinda
blood
worse.
splatters.
Because you don't have to know people. It's kind of a trade-off. Anyways.
That person got disintegrated.
This is my only magic.
Gibbs, this number is familiar to you
Yeah.
because you had cast no coordinates on an individual who was tracked right down to the sludge pumps,
Oh.
deep within the lower sprawl.
This blood belongs to somebody who's working for Bastion, which means that they were hired.
Didn't
Maybe.
you use it on Chesterfield? Didn't you use it on Chesterfield?
And
You've
Bastion.
used it on both, yeah.
I've used it on both. Oh, look, here, I'll do it right now. I cast it.
No,
Is
what
it
do
Bastion it?
Are you doing it on a bastion?
Yeah, I'll do it on Bastion.
Okay.
Same
Same
chord.
general vicinity. Maybe a little bit further east, but roughly in the same space.
Yeah, 3 digits east, and it's basically the same thing.
So whoever this person is, this Lashunta is working with Bastion.
Yeah. But also this magic, what spell? Or can I...
That doesn't work. It has to be cast at you.
What kind of magic?
Does Detect Magic give you that?
Does
Ooh,
this
good question.
Good question, yes.
I know it does in D&D.
Yeah, I don't know how it works in Starfinder.
What sort of magic requires blood as a component?
That's not, I think, what I'm learning about these two things.
does
That
this
is
seem
what I'm
like
asking,
it was
though.
something
I don't
to kill any other
What's
what's the motive here? Because it seems like it wasn't the guard, right?
Make a sense motive check.
If it was someone working with Bastion, why would there be blood?
Yeah.
Oh, each round you concentrate on the same area. You can determine if one magical source you detect is from a spell, magical item, or other effect in the caster level or item level of the effect. You can't determine if there's magical sources in areas you can't see, or if there was a magical source in an area at one time but has since expired.
The spell
Mm-hmm.
that was cast in this main space
Yeah.
was a spell that was cast
Yeah.
from a level 15 caster.
Wow.
Oh my god.
The spell that was cast near the guard station
Yeah.
has a very similar energy, probably the same person,
Yeah.
level 15 caster.
Guys, I know you guys are so eager to do all of the things all at the same time, all at once, but like, this person's much better magicer than I am.
Again, I mentioned doing them in quick succession.
Mm-hmm.
The dams we will wish to do all at once.
Okay, but
It seems as if some very high level magical technology was used to teleport the nuclear missile out of the facility.
Gibbs, did you ever use no coordinates on Babsley,
Babsley?
the Lashunta worker that Spice met?
No, because she gave us her number.
Could you use them now?
Sure.
Good thinking.
For some reason, my magic is very spastic today.
No problem. You just
It's the-
do the YMCA.
Silo.
Easy enough
Not a
for
sponsor.
you. At the moment, at 7 p.m.,
Yeah.
it seems as if they're at the Robert Young Lee Memorial Space Station.
And that does
That's
not match.
different coordinates in
Different
there.
coordinates.
Very different.
Yes.
You've
Good
been
thinking,
you've been
good
to the
thinking.
Bobby Lee Space Station.
Okay, so we
They're
narrowed
at
it
the
down.
space station. It's not that person, but good thinking.
After all, there was thought that it was maybe an inside job. After all, someone has to drive the van.
What was your son's motive check?
It was.
But she was real
16.
sad.
Hard to tell.
You can still be sad.
You get the sense that you're asking a very good question, though.
What's the question?
The question was, why would there be blood of Bastion's ally unless he's cleaning up evidence of anyone else's involvement and he killed them or turned on them?
Well, the absolute compass wouldn't work if they were dead, though.
Right, so then there was a struggle.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why you could be bloodied.
Are there any spells that require blood?
There were other
I
security
asked that, and I was told that's not how that
systems
works.
within here, right?
Correct. You had seen
I
that
don't
you
know. I
you
don't
almost
know.
were able to
I haven't
achieve to
seen it.
access them.
Could it be anything within the security systems that could have like done that defensively?
Almost
Because-
certainly not.
There's a struggle. We could probably see it on the wall.
'Cause we know
we could
So,
have a
yeah.
hole in the wall or something, maybe.
We know who's in
Yeah, and
the
there's
bad guy.
nothing
It seems
that.
like, yeah, that's what Shade's thinking, is that Bastion probably disposed of any evidence by getting rid of anyone who he had help with, or
The
the
Bastion's a fighter.
the magic user
That's what
who
we're
cast
No,
the
he's
second
a
spell
magic
that could have
user.
just disintegrated people.
Well, did the USR
or
say, or did Ares to say if the guards? He said that the guards were let go, right?
Well, there was one guard,
Yeah.
and then
But
the
they were
others were
fired.
all automated. They were let go. And then there's this Lashunta blood.
Do I think that the Sebastian fought with Bubbles and they had a little boy crush?
We never
But
fought, but we fought together.
That's the part that they denied.
We had
so
We had relations.
could he be the caster or no? Does this magic feel like Bastion? Or does this feel like not like Bastion?
You're asking a question that doesn't really fall in line with the tech magic.
Okay.
It.
Can I sense motive?
Yeah, sure.
Can I vibe check the magic?
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
not
high
saying
DC.
necessarily
Ooh.
that Bastion is the one who did it, but
Yeah, I think
whoever
it's-
this high-level caster is
21 plus
was
15.
probably the one who also
36.
caused the blood.
I
With a
agree.
36, this doesn't seem to be, at least not the Bastion that you knew.
Yeah.
This seems to be different. It seems to be a little bit more raw in its nature. It doesn't seem to be quite as refined. It seems to be... There is something that relates it to where you are. You feel like the source of this power, but not Bastion.
And do
It
people
all
cast magic with blood?
Yeah, some people can.
Some people do.
Um.
Maybe.
It seems as if one of the magical spells that was cast was used to teleport this out, but whatever else was cast is something that likely caused harm to whoever was associated, leaving this blood.
That makes sense. So, basically,
But if the caster was casting it, it wouldn't have been harm against themselves unless there was a scuffle. Maybe it was more like a memory wipe. There's a lot of memory magic you can do. It's like my mind link, but rewriting things.
With your sense motive check, there's something there.
Ooh.
Maybe not a memory wipe, but this tiny, tiny little trace of blood. It doesn't speak to like a messy assassination or a brawl. It speaks to some real precision.
so
I say that.
that's a really good point, Gibbs. So, basically, all we know is Bastion came here with someone, a Lashunta, and this Lashunta had some kind of magic to remove this nuke, teleport it out, and they did something else to maybe remove this, some kind of detection when they came in. I don't know how they did it,
The
but
blood was up in the security room.
Correct.
So it could have been that the blood came from... Because, like, when Bubs does stuff, sometimes he gets nosebleeds.
Also true.
Could it have been that the caster bled just a micro bit?
It would be
In the
far less
casting?
than how much Bubbles bleeds.
Right.
So that wouldn't necessarily line up.
But, like, could they have used that on the security guard to do this sort of memory magic?
You're
to
asking
make
a
them
question that's
forget?
a little outside of your skill set. You don't
Right.
really know.
But yeah, I mean, magic can be used for blood, but like, I don't know, it's kind of weird when people do that. But like, it also could have just been like a poorly timed nosebleed, like you said. So, I don't know, but this magic feels weird.
Can you erase memories with magic?
You can.
Could you?
I can't, but people can.
You are able to detect when magic has been used.
Only if it's strong enough and lingers long enough.
If this same caster used a memory wipe on Babsley, would you be able to detect it and reverse it?
Reverse it, maybe not. Detect it, more likely. But that's also partly a medicine thing and asking the right questions.
We also have contacts with memory reconstruction.
Which would also lead us closer to the possible involvement with Jacinto.
Nevertheless, your friend might be helpful in avoiding that.
I believe it's a good avenue to begin investigating Jacinto's involvement.
I understand. I apologize.
But you know what's great about this whole thing? We now know where the nuke is.
yeah, oh yeah, Gibbs.
It's not so cool!
Bub's gonna jump him down with Gibbs. We oh my
We
god.
know where the nuke is! We know where the nuke is!
Echoes through this kind of silo for sure.
Bubby's gonna jump up and down with Gibbs.
Shh. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Jump up and down.
we know where the nuke is. We know where the nuke. We're gonna quietly sell.
Okay.
How?
Because
Maybe.
we know who stole it and like It's no longer as much of a wild goose chase.
You don't. Oh,
We maybe know. We're just celebrating.
You know where the person who likely took the nuke is.
Yeah.
We know where the person who knows where the nuke is.
We know where the person.
We know mostly how we did it, or how they did it.
I'm just saying, like, this feels great. We all contributed.
Yeah. So is there anything else?
There's something missing here, though. Like, it's still.
You pulled a lot of information
Yeah.
out of literally the rock of the walls.
Yeah.
Even with that, though, Shade, you get the sense that there is stuff that you will be leaving behind.
Echo
He always
goes
leaves
up, goes like, and does a quick toss of like the rooms just to like basically burst through and like what's his face? We can't talk about him because he's copyrighted mutant who goes real fast.
Quicksilver.
Thank you.
Fast gold.
Does one of those.
Okay.
Go find things.
Yeah, I would say you don't really need to roll for that.
Cool. It
Yeah,
doesn't help
brushing through, there's nothing that's like obvious in a way that you'd be able to see it moving at the speed of sound.
Cool. Echo would basically. No, they already checked. It's
You guys checked and
I think we
you
got
got
everything.
some stuff.
So the two. Okay. The timeline has to be the first one happened in the security station. So they must have come in from the security station. Because if they're casting up there first and then down at the bottom of the silo, they would have had to have traveled there. So that has to have been cast first if the second cast was to teleport them out. Which still
No.
means we don't know how they got in unless they came in through the
Magic
front
works
door.
from a distance, and they could have ridden on the top of the nuke on their way down to the teleportation circle.
What does that go?
So we know we have a clearance upgrade. Is there any proof of it? Like, would Echo know that clearance works a certain way that if we were just to go back to Ares, that they would be like, oh yeah, your clearance has been upgraded?
You now know what Ares knows. You have.
But they wouldn't let us like look at certain things.
Oh yeah. Perhaps. Like you said, you don't have any way of proving it. You were given this like directly from this
Okay.
USR guy. It is likely less that you have like clearance and more that you have clearance for this from Admiral Woe directly.
Okay, so that is Joe telling player that with what we have now, going back to Ares probably wouldn't net much more.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay.
So given everything that we know about what could have feasibly happened here,
Yeah.
the last thing I want to try to figure out is with the size of the teleportation panels, we'll call them, and the estimated power of a spell that would be cast by someone to do something of that size, what would the teleportation range potentially be to get it to a potential area of such a scope? And I would ask you that. Like how
Make a mysticism check, Gibbs.
I don't know. Let me think about it. I'm gonna
I
shake
know
my
there's
magic
something
8
we're
ball,
missing
and it's a
here.
30.
With
But
a
I guess-
30,
Yeah.
not off planet. Probably not even really out of the lower half of the city. They couldn't even, probably from like an altitude standpoint, make it into the Crown District or even the Trunk District.
okay.
So it is likely, by altitude, lower than where you are.
Okay.
Certainly it's still on the planet, if it has not been like picked up and transported.
Okay. But even then, it would have needed to be teleported to a predetermined destination to be put
Correct.
onto some sort of thing that could carry it.
Yeah.
And we know that they've been following the traffic patterns of those convoys.
They sure have.
So the most likely place that they teleported it to. So then I would try to take this area
based on where the known convoy routes are that they were attacking,
Yeah.
and see which ones are within the radius of where it could have potentially been teleported to.
It's pretty easy for you to do that because amongst all of your various companions, Spice and Gibbs had spoken to an individual who had told them that right before they had had this horrible night in this exact place that you all now stand, they had had an even worse night where they had been riding in a convoy that got raided by people and they were attacked in the sprawl. And when you line those things up, that missing convoy of vehicles that was taken, that would be in
where
that
the
radius.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have to track down that convoy, and we'll find where the nuke was taken.
And we know it
And
stopped
we know
at
that it stopped at
the lower.
yeah, at
Basically,
the
all
lower
signs
crowd.
point to where the Bastion is currently.
So they still have it down there somewhere, but they've transferred it from there, and now we know that they're also probably collecting radiation converters rather.
Is there a
Condensers
weather
something else that
station
makes,
on
like-
Aphrodite?
Yeah, turns it into a coal.
A radiation extract.
Radiation coal.
Is the
Or diamonds,
radiation
I
from a
guess.
nuke powerful enough to like? Because I assume they have like weather Dopplers for like
Yeah.
radiation.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Is it-
They mostly forecast the toxic storms that will like swirl overhead.
Yeah.
And in certain places, even in the protected sort of interiors, you need to hunker down and wear like environmental
Yeah.
gear, especially in the sprawl.
Is there any like? Can I infosphere weird weather?
Yeah,
that
but
night?
for free, what I'll tell you is like
Yeah.
when a nuke is used,
Yeah.
so like in real life,
It
Right.
has some-
there is a huge market for steel that was crafted, steel instruments that were crafted prior to the dropping of the atomic bombs.
Right. 'Cause it really-
Because those 2 atomic bombs being dropped in Japan irradiated the planet. At a baseline, all metal,
Right.
almost all metal on our planet is irradiated now at a
Yeah.
very small level. They're fantastically powerful. To truly understand how powerful these devices are, it really is we're not even talking about like physics anymore. We're really talking about magic is what nukes are.
But like a nuke in its dormant state, like the way we assume it is now.
Yes, you
is
wouldn't be
that-
able to.
Okay, that's not
read
powerful
that.
enough to change the weather.
Not the weather, but you would be able to scan and find it if you were close enough.
Okay, but
assuming it wasn't shielded or something like that.
But it probably has shielding.
Yeah.
Like this silo would have served as shielding.
right.
It wouldn't have.
But
picked
when
up
it
on
left
scan.
this shielding and went onto like some random car,
Presumably, it would have left a trail. Yeah.
is there weather reports that would help me find that
Not
trail?
weather,
But
But
if
if probably
you were-
follow a radiation trail.
if you had a way to read the radiation, simple
Yeah.
Geiger counter, something like that, you could certainly follow a
Which
more
I believe
intense
we
path.
do have.
But like that won't help me
Geiger
backtrack
We
because
do.
this was 2 weeks ago. Like, so I need to know like does NASA have
No.
a Geiger counter that is
No.
publicly? You know those nerds on the internet
Yeah.
who are like clouds.
Yeah. Still
So
no.
we need to go to where.
So real quick,
Sorry if you're one of those nerds. We support you.
so
Also, you
Shade
provide
mentioned
valuable
the
information.
convoys being hit. Do the convoys being hit? Do they have any sort of similar location where we cast the absolute compass's coordinates?
Yes, very
Okay.
much so. So if you were to follow a direct line from where all of you would need to kind of enter into the lower industrial sprawl, straight line is where the convoy goes past like a bunch of different things, past like some warehouses that are fully automated, and then if you just drive in a straight line, don't hit anything, you would then go down a tunnel that would drop you into the lower sprawl. And that is where your kind of no coordinates are pointing towards.
Okay, so Bubs will explain this. So basically, from when they hit the convoys, they basically went down into the lower sprawls.
Right, and we're just assuming he's got it. He's holding it there until some unknown point, or maybe an unknown buyer.
So
It is an educated assumption.
with the
Yeah.
power of a nuke, would they be able to even do anything meaningful by collecting a bunch of radiation converters?
Make an engineering check. Good question.
Just the passive power of having a nuke. It's a big old battery in there.
Like if they were able to like
If it was shielded,
harness that power
what was
in
your
a way.
engineering check? Getting excited. I read a lot about
That's
physics.
39.
They would need to unshield the missile to be able to harvest the radiation out of it, which would mean that everybody would be getting irradiated.
Right.
So that is not maybe the best plan. You get the sense that these scrubbers going missing may be unrelated to this missile, and that's probably good. There maybe is some other person or group that is stealing or
Stealing
otherwise getting these.
For some, yeah.
So you're saying the convoy had the scrubbers, probably maybe not related?
No,
No.
we
The
don't know who
scrubbers
has the
are-
scrubbers.
okay,
The
okay.
scrubbers
That was
are a
something
red
that
herring.
Gibbs figured
Figured
this out just by
Yeah.
looking, not a red herring. This is a
It's
real thing.
involved,
There is a
but-
notable absence of these things that
Metal,
would
yeah.
make a ton of sense to have on this planet. People are looking for them. They're in high demand, and
Right.
people are reporting them stolen.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
And at the same time as all this happening is kind of sus.
Yeah.
So, it's not the same
Yeah.
people
the same
though.
convoy, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same people who have stolen the nuke who are doing whatever they're doing with taking these scrubbers.
Okay. So get okay.
So the radiation is also natural on the planet, right?
correct.
Yes. So it could be hidden down there and also harnessed down there.
Well, if you're a robot,
It doesn't matter.
no.
Huh.
You need a source of power.
Yeah.
And if you're no longer working for anybody, how do you get your source of power?
Self-sufficiency is really important.
That's true.
And if you are trying to deny other people use of technology because you
I
think
gotcha.
it's restrictive,
I see what you're saying. That's a good point. This could be them.
Echo thinks
Eat
this,
it.
thinks on this,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and does a sense motive on their thinking.
Sure.
Metacognition is a feat.
Damn, I wish.
That's good thinking.
Damn, I really wish. I rolled a 2 on the die for a grand total of dirty 20.
I mean, that's still not bad. And given the kind of line of inquiry, you're not 100% sure. But if you were trying to be a self-sufficient colony of radiation-resistant creatures, getting some of these scrubbers to generate your power, that seems kind of like a masterstroke.
At the very least, they would be interested if we found some for them.
Yeah, we could possibly barter with them to, help us accomplish one of our goals.
Assuming they don't already have the radiation scrubbers.
The Edict of John.
Edict of John.
There we go.
Yeah.
Robots.
Great.
So,
And we have this friend who we could talk to, and maybe he knows who might want a scrubber.
That's a good point. So guys, I don't know if you guys want to spend the whole night here. It is getting pretty late in the laundromat. It is 24 hours, but
There's still something here.
it's
What's
like a
bothering you?
But some great voice in the sky has told us that maybe
Yeah,
it's
it's
too
maybe
late
over.
and we should probably move on.
guys.
I don't know.
The laundromat. It's just
Can we order pizza?
Oh yeah.
We could have a sleepover in the laundromat.
Yeah, I think we're making
That's
our
where
way
we
out.
are.
of
Making your way
this
up. Shade
silo.
keeps kind of lingering a little bit, but slowly.
We found a
catches back up.
nuke.
Wait, Gibbs.
Echo finds like the last remaining dolly and just kind of like just rolls Shade out as
Sure,
as a
sure, no problem.
I'm leaving
Still a
of my own
transporter.
accord.
You make your way out of the Blue Rat Apartments
What
and out into
area?
T-Town. It is close to 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
We have also fought today, so Echo's just says,
I believe it is time we all took a nap for 8 hours.
We should go back and rest. We need to come up with our next move. I think following this radiation trail from the convoy will lead us where Bastion and the nuke are.
Do we want to go find Bastion and the nuke, or do we want to start clearing out the radium spite?
Despite
I personally believe that the nuclear warhead is a higher priority.
Okay,
It's
but we
also
also
likely
know
more
that
dangerous.
he, at the very least, is allied with somebody who could kick our ass.
I would indeed like to have more allies and resources before meeting Bastion on the combat field.
I agree that if we were to strike now, we would be unprepared.
You do know there is one other faction in the Sprawl.
The mutants.
Well, the mutants
crazy.
are definitely. I wouldn't even consider them a faction.
They're kind of
The
like
mutants exist.
They're like the super ghouls or the feral ghouls.
In like the division, they're kind of like they're definitely not like
They're
an
out there collecting
organized
dirt for the
bunch.
dirt man.
Yeah. This the other faction, there is a organization that maintains a training base actually in the Sprawl. You guys were told that Shorepoint
Yes.
has a security training facility in the Sprawl as well.
I'm not about to hire them, though.
Something to just consider as you travel.
We do still have one contact.
There was the android that I exchanged contact info with who worked for Shorepoint on the Tony Express.
There is.
I would like to attempt to reach out to this person.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I gotta pull up their information. Doing some deep dives tonight, huh?
You're gonna try to hire him.
Oh,
Just info.
yeah.
I think Karen's a good point though. We are pretty.
Well, I'm not trying to
So you're-
contact them. I just want to find that info.
No, I'm talking about the
Open up the possibility, because
Sage is just looking through his contact
Yeah.
list, making sure it's there.
to be like,
We do have a contact at Shorepoint if we wanted to reach out.
If we do hit Bastion, how many people do you think we would need at least to help? Because we could possibly get.
We don't
Moon.
know that it's only Bastion.
Yeah, we know Bastion, Lashunta, and possibly any other
We
Jacinto
also
hired
can
groups.
reasonably assume that Bastion is working in some form with Jacinto and more likely Lydell.
I would want to have some form of distraction to eliminate any extra forces that could potentially attack us. I would think that perhaps something similar to our role on the prison barge would be good for some start-up bounty hunters. Only we would take the place of Team 1,
Yeah, I like that idea.
a tactical strike. We would need more information. Maybe some scouting is required in that sector.
Well, the ones we've hired, we more hired in mind for the radium spite.
And they might be more amenable for future jobs, is my point.
Right, they can cut their teeth with us. But
If they start with this one, and it is lucrative, they might appreciate helping out more.
Well, timing is the question. Do we want to blow up the bridges with these guys before we try to go look for the nuke? I think maybe we should do it the opposite way and look for the nuke first.
My point being, once we blow up the bridges, the nuke follows shortly thereafter. We would need to have a full and complete plan.
I think that we need to go after the nuclear missile before we do anything with the bombing.
I agree. I think
As soon as we set off those, whatever plan they have with that nuke is going to get expedited.
I respectfully disagree with
Why
the
would that-
choices.
yeah, why would Bastion think that these two things have anything to do with each other? Because they
Anything-
don't actually.
Anything of such major consequence to upset the balance of this area is going to raise suspicion for someone who is housing a nuclear missile.
yeah, that makes sense. And also I think just time is of the essence. If someone is sitting on a nuke, they're not going to be wanting to sit on it for a while. It's it's not a chicken egg. They got to get off the pot.
My
That is
point,
possible.
however, is that they have already been sitting on it for a while. It has been multiple weeks since it was stolen. They would not be interested in using it if they have not used it already. I believe that if we are to gain allies, or at the very least, associates, starting off on small missions and having a progressive, larger plan in place would be more beneficial.
Would they be able to use the nuke in any other way outside of, like, as a warhead?
Yeah.
Because now it's just, like, they could take the active components of that and it's just the raw energy.
They could break it down. Well,
Yeah. I mean, not
it's a little
the
more
raw energy,
complicated
but
than that.
yeah.
But yeah, they
like,
could use it for different things.
Right.
It's highly enriched uranium.
Right. And they don't likely have a high-tech facility that could house it somewhere down in Lower Crowdite, right?
Probably not, no.
Do we think that if we do want to do the strike against them and we possibly have to get more numbers to solidify our group, like Kara said, to do this strike against Bastion, how many do we need to at least feel comfortable? I think. I mean, we don't know what we're going against, but all we have
That's
is
a you question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to think out loud. We have basically one in a possibility person as an ally, and the Skittermander doesn't seem like the best fighter. Really, I don't really know him. He was in the Fighters Guild.
He was in the Fighters Guild.
Yeah, he was in the Fighters Guild. So maybe I'm wrong.
I think this might be something that we can talk about over the next
yeah.
week.
Yeah, for sure.
It's also just like a magic user's a wild card, right? It's like I'm really powerful when I don't care about you guys, but
so why don't
you guys are my way a lot.
So sorry, Anna.
Yeah, sorry.
So if we had to put like at least feelers out there, how important do you guys think, like as a group, if we had to just decide, not deciding now, but if we had to put like our emotions or our feelers out there, do you guys want to hit the nuke first, or do you want to do the bombing first? Because I'm with Shade. I think we should go for the nuke first.
I'm with Echo, and I think we should do the bombs first.
Oh no.
I wasn't listening. What?
So you have the tie-breaking vote. You weren't listening, which is perfect.
Well, I'm gonna play it as Spice wasn't listening. Olive has, I barely understand.
So we have this area side quest.
Like I said, I think this is something we need to discuss over the next week, not on stream.
So for this moment, as you guys discuss, you realize it's getting pretty late. You do need to turn in for the evening.
Order pizza.
There is not a pizza place that delivers to T-Town, especially right now, as it is currently sort of blockaded by a gang.
We order pizza from our synthesizer.
But you can certainly print out a pizza or two.
There we go.
And you could print it out, and you can print out a box that says delivery on it if you wish. No problem. We do that. Gibbs prints a pizza for all of you, and you find a little bit of rest. Over the course of the, and because it is 9:30, this is a great place for us to finish for this evening. Over the course of this next week, in our various kind of group chats, Discord, etc., we can think about the trajectory that you guys want to take next. Both of these, very valid, very good, and very necessary courses of action. Taking one will probably make the other harder, no matter which you choose. So it really is about decisions, and I would say it has nothing to do with how many people it takes for you to feel comfortable. How many people would you like to get before you begin, if any? And that's really the question that you need to ask yourself. But thank you for joining us for this session of Mosaic Team 5.
Yeah,
we are going to be back tomorrow night playing Adventures in Alberon Courts of Everest, our original D&D campaign, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm running that game. Matt will be there. Carol will be there. We're going to have a whole bunch of other folks joining us for that game as well.
They just kind of show up.
Just kind of show
Just
up.
like me one day. And I never left.
Yeah. If you can't wait that long, you just kind of have to. But please stay safe no matter what you do. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
See you, Space Boyfriend.